either aware of the need to do this to their home, or that there's a program out there that could help them protect their home from future storms as they are going to come, and we all know that.
All right, Doug Wheeler, James Madison Institute, great, and as a member of the Virginia Institute for Public Policy here in the Commonwealth, I appreciate brethren of the same stripe. I appreciate your insight into this. We'll get back to it. 434-882-4217 for your thoughts, text message or phone call, or you can email jtinthemorningradio@gmail.com. Much more as we approach yet another shutdown drama right before Christmas, this time with an Amazon strike.
You know, it's true. Difficult times have a way of focusing us. We have to think about what matters most when it comes to our spending, our health care. This is why so many people are joining Medishare right now. Medishare is a trusted way to save up to 50% on your monthly healthcare costs. More than 400,000 people have already made the switch. It's pretty obvious why, too, especially now during this challenging season with healthcare costs and out-of-pocket expenses going up. Medishare can save you a lot of money. The typical family saves $500 a month. Medishare works, too. It's been around for 30 years. Members have shared more than $5 billion of each other's bills. There are different options to choose from to fit your budget. I'll give you the number here in a second, and if you call, you can get a price within 2 minutes. Maybe now is the perfect time to make the switch and start saving. Here you go. Call 855-SHARE-40. That's 855-SHARE 40. 855-SHARE-40.
'Twas just weeks before Christmas and long after dark. All the elves are still busy at Santa's Magical Kingdom in Jellystone Park. Over 2 million lights they have hung with great care, creating holiday magic for families to share. Deer that jump over cars and elves playing in trees. With tunnels and fountains, there's just so much to see. All the families will be laughing at the scenes.
News Talk 1560 AM, 94.1 FM, KTUI, Sullivan. It's 6 o'clock. Good morning. This is KTUI Radio, beginning a new day of broadcasting. KTUI is owned and operated by Merrimack Area Broadcasting, LLC of Sullivan, Missouri. Broadcast facilities are located at 900 Elmont Road in Sullivan. KTUI is authorized by the Federal Communications Commission to operate on an assigned frequency of 1560 kilohertz on the AM band and K231CP, an FM translator frequency of 94.1 megahertz. The assigned power for KTUI AM is 1,000 watts, and the power for the FM translator is 250 watts. We invite you to tune in daily to AM 1560 or 94.1 FM for the latest news, weather, and information. And now the U.S. Coast Guard Band with our national anthem.
This is by the way. Luke chapter 2 in the Bible gives us an account of the Lord's birth. It's a beautiful account. And one portion of that account is the message of the angel to the shepherds in the field in the outskirts of Bethlehem. And the angel said, "Fear not, for behold, I bring you good news of great joy that shall be for all people. For unto you is born this day a Savior, who is Christ the Lord. When the angel spoke the words, I bring you good news, you were included in the you. For unto you is born a Savior. God did it for you. Christ is a gift for you. This is By the Way.
Good morning to you. It is 3 minutes past the hour of 6 o'clock here on a Thursday morning. I'm Sam Scott. Glad to have you along. Mostly sunny skies for us today. High near 48. Going to be partly cloudy tonight, low around 24. Mostly sunny tomorrow. High near 33. Partly cloudy tomorrow night, low around 21. Sunny on Saturday. High near 37. Going to be mostly clear on Saturday night, low around 23. And then sunny on Sunday with a high near 43. Right now, 31 degrees at the studios out at Sullivan Regional Airport. They're saying 30 degrees here this morning. And let's see, I should have found my folder that tells me if the sun's going to come up today. Yeah, well, okay, what time the sun's going to come up today. And let's see, that will be on 7:17 a.m. That's sunrise. Sunsets at 4:47 p.m. Gives us a day length of 9 hours, 30 minutes. This is about the shortest it's going to get. The days start getting longer again on Christmas Day. We'll gain a minute on Christmas Day. But till then, 9 hours and 30 minutes of daylight. And let's see, the 19th day of December 1976, we had a record high of 68 degrees. 1983, our low high was 2 degrees. Also in 1983, we had a record low of -7. Whoa. And in 1877, we had a high low of 55 degrees. All right, there's your highs and lows for the day. Coming up at 8:30 this morning, a deputy from Franklin County Sheriff's Office is coming in. The sheriff told me that he was teaching today or something like that, and so he's sending somebody in their computer division, I believe. Scenic Regional Library, I think Sydney told me she was going to be here, the manager of the branch here in Sullivan, Sydney Lewis. And that'll be at 9:10 this morning. Then we've got live from the White Mule Winery, and that'll be at 10:05 this morning. Birthdays that I have this morning, and if you've got a birthday that you'd like to pass along, you can let me know here at the station. But the birthdays that I have, my cousin Andrea Cottrell, and then Courtney Richardson, Boyd Thurman, and Jim Bartle's daughter, Emily Carthy. She's 30 today, so happy birthday to all of those folks. Let's see. What can we celebrate today? Well, it looks like this is Holly Day. Look for an evergreen day. It's National Emo Day, National Hard Candy Day, National Oatmeal Muffin Day, and National Regifting Day. So if you got something last year for Christmas that you don't care for or whatever, wrap it up and give it to somebody else. Try to remember who you got it from, though, so you don't give it back to them. All right, let's see. We are at 7 minutes past the hour of 6 o'clock here on a Thursday morning. I've got news from Town Hall. Stay tuned here to KTUI.
Breaking news this hour from townhall.com. I'm Jeremy House. Federal Reserve Board Chairman Jerome Powell announced yesterday the Fed is cutting its key rate by a quarter point.
With today's action, we have lowered our policy rate by a full percentage point from its peak, and our policy stance is now significantly less restrictive. We can therefore be more cautious as we consider further adjustments to our policy rate.
The Federal Reserve now envisions 2 rate cuts next year, not the 4 they predicted back in September. President-elect Donald Trump says he has problems with the continuing resolution worked out by congressional leaders to fund the government through March 14th of next year.
House and Senate leaders struck a deal that would have kept the government funded into March and avoided a shutdown set to begin Friday. Trump rejected the measure as full of giveaways to Democrats, and Elon Musk had whipped up outrage on social media, writing "Kill the bill" on X and threatening primary challenges against anyone who voted for it. Ben Thomas, Washington.
Israel launched 2 waves of airstrikes on Yemen overnight, its military acknowledging carrying out the strikes on 3 ports in Yemen and energy sites in Sana'a, saying it was targeting infrastructure used by the Houthi rebels to stage their attacks in the Red Sea. Police say the shooter who killed a student and teacher at a religious school in Wisconsin this week brought 2 guns to the school. The 15-year-old girl also was in contact with a man in California who authorities say was planning to attack a government building. The International Brotherhood of Teamsters says workers at 7 Amazon facilities are beginning a strike this morning. The union says the workers are joining the picket line after Amazon ignored a December 15th deadline the union set for contract negotiations. On Wall Street, Dow futures are up 181 points. NASDAQ futures ahead 64. More on these stories at townhall.com.
Do you just grin and bear it or bite the bullet when it comes to everyday pain? Don't. Try Relief Factor, a drug-free daily supplement that helps your body fight pain naturally. Relief Factor doesn't just mask pain, it helps reduce or even eliminate it. It's 100% drug-free, it's developed by doctors. In 3 weeks or less, you'll know whether it works for you like it works for me. Try Relief Factor for yourself. Go to relieffactor.com or call 1-800-4RELIEF and save on your first order. That's 1-800-4-RELIEF.
This Christmas, gather your loved ones as we at TBN celebrate the birth of Jesus. Enjoy powerful performances by For King and Country, Matthew West, Danny Goki, and Natalie France. Joy to the world. Along with inspiring messages from Joel Osteen, Rick Warren, Max Lucado, and others.
Merry Christmas to you guys.
Tune in or stream meaningful programming anytime on the TBN Plus app. Visit tbn.org to learn more and make TBN part of your holiday tradition.
Nuts are no longer on the menu for some California squirrels.
Scientists in California say a breed of squirrel is not just eating nuts and seeds anymore. Researchers at UC Davis found that ground squirrels are now chowing down on meat as they hunt, kill, and eat smaller rodents with a particular liking for voles, a relative of the hamster. Scientists believe the meat-eating behavior emerged temporarily as the population of available prey increased, prey that is competing with the squirrels for food. Tasha Stevens reporting.
French President Emmanuel Macron has arrived to the Indian Ocean archipelago of Mayotte to survey the devastation wreaked by Cyclone Chido. Macron will be overflying the area for an aerial appraisal of the damage before visiting the hospital. He'll then visit a destroyed neighborhood. French authorities say at least 31 people have died. News and analysis at townhall.com. Federal regulators are retreating from a massive airbag recall.
U.S. safety regulators have backed away from seeking a recall of nearly 50 million airbag inflators thought to be at risk of exploding and hurling shrapnel into drivers and passengers. Regulators now say they will continue to investigate after the auto industry raised questions about whether all of the inflators are defective. The auto industry pointed to technical and engineering differences between ARC inflators in vehicles made by different manufacturers. The National Highway Traffic Safety Administration has determined that more investigation is warranted. I'm Lisa Dwyer.
The number of people killed and missing remains unclear 2 days after a magnitude 7.3 earthquake struck the Pacific island nation of Vanuatu. Nearly 48 hours after Tuesday's tremor, the toll stands at 14 deaths. More on these stories at townhall.com.
Missouri Net News, I'm Anthony Morabit. The U.S. Senate has passed the $895 billion defense authorization bill. It's now ready to be signed by the president. Ashley Bird has more.
Senators voted 85-14 for the NDAA, which includes a 14.5% pay increase for junior enlisted troops and a 4.5% raise for all other service members. Missouri Senator Eric Schmidt is on the Armed Services Committee and says the state directly benefits from workforce programs, a special project at Missouri S&T for advanced minerals processing, and funding for Fort Leonard Wood, Whiteman Air Force Base, and Boeing St. Louis. Schmidt says he's proud of including in the bill a temporary block on hiring DEI professionals in the Defense Department.
Governor-elect Mike Kehoe has chosen a new leader for the Missouri Department of Social Services. Jessica Bax will take over for Robert Nodell, who is leaving to become the city manager in his hometown of Poplar Bluff. The Hall of Famous Missourian says a new member, former U.S. Senator Roy Blunt.
A bronze bust of former U.S. Senator Roy Blunt joins 53 other statues of famous Missourians in the hall. Blunt tells Missouri Net what he thinks is one of his greatest political accomplishments.
In the last decade, Senator Stabenow from Michigan and I worked a lot on mental health issues. I think that maybe has some of the biggest national impact in how we discuss mental health and also how we understand the importance of treating mental health like all other health.
Blunt, a Republican, has also been influential in boosting federal funding to community health centers and medical research for the National Institutes of Health.
That's Elisa Nelson reporting 5 adults have been arrested with causing the death of a 49-day-old infant. KMOV-TV reports raids were conducted by the Lincoln County Sheriff's Office, St. Louis County Police Department, and the U.S. Marshals Service. This is Missouri Net.
Sometimes when we're dealing with mental health challenges, it might seem like we can handle them on our own at first. But let's face it, waiting until they spiral into a crisis, it's only going to add layers to the struggle. You don't have to face it alone. When you're unsure of who to go to or where to turn, just remember, 988 is there for you. Don't hesitate to seek support before it's too late. You deserve to feel supported and heard. Reach out to 988, 988 Suicide and Crisis Lifeline Missouri.
Do you have a black vulture issue on your farm? Apply for a depredation permit through the Missouri Farm Bureau today. It's free, quick, and easy. Simply call Missouri Farm Bureau at 573-893-1417 or send an email to blackvultures@mofb.org. That's blackvultures@mofb.org. Farm Bureau will send you a permit application to fill in and sign, and you'll be able to reduce black vulture threats in no time. For more information, visit agriculture.mo.gov.
Branson is home to the largest trout rearing center operated by the Missouri Department of Conservation. Next door is the brand new Conservation Education Center, which received $7 million to upgrade and double the place's size. Warren Rose says one reason you should visit is to see its world-famous slithering resident.
Tiger lily, which is a two-headed western black rat snake. That snake's been seen, viewed around the world. It's a great opportunity to teach people about snakes and their importance here in the natural world.
The State Department of Natural Resources has awarded $14 million in financial assistance to the Metropolitan St. Louis Sewer District for upgrades to its sewer collection system. The funding is expected to cover the project's estimated total cost, and it should be completed by April of 2026. Additionally, in the St. Louis area, the cold weather migration of ducks and geese is in full swing. The State Department of Conservation reminds hunters that all waterfowl seasons are currently underway there. This is Missouri Net.
Hello, this is Cheyenne, the Treasury Management Specialist at Sullivan Bank. Our goal in the Treasury Management Department is to give your business a step up in business banking. We are committed to visiting your place of business to set up your products and provide training to your team. If you aren't sure what services could benefit you, we will walk you through our products and go over which ones make the most sense for your needs. We want you to focus on growing your business with the peace of mind that we will be there when you need us. Call us today to experience a step up in business service.
New Testament Baptist Church in Sullivan is starting a new addiction recovery ministry called Life Issues. It's a biblical approach to the 12 steps, bringing scriptural principles into personal focus and making them come alive for transformational living. Whether you struggle with addictions, food, depression, anxiety, or relationships, you'll be encouraged to see how others have found a new way of life with hope for the future through this program. Life Issues will meet weekly on Thursdays at 6:30 p.m. at New Testament Baptist Church. You're not alone. To find out more, contact New Testament Baptist Church at 573-468-3334.
Another suspect's been charged in the shooting death of CBC high school hockey player Colin Brown. 28-year-old Donovan Bocom has been charged with first-degree murder, first-degree assault, unlawful use of a weapon, and 3 counts of armed criminal action. St. Louis police say Bocom was arrested on Tuesday. Homicide detectives met with the circuit attorney's office yesterday morning, and charges were filed shortly afterward. A judge denied bond for Bocom. Yesterday's announcement comes less than a week after Garrett Jordan III was charged with first-degree murder, first-degree assault, unlawful use of a weapon, and 3 counts of armed criminal action in the fatal shooting. A probable cause statement against Bocom claims he admitted to driving an Audi during the shooting. A witness told police the vehicle was hers and that she gave the vehicle to Bocom the day of the murder, the statement alleges. A search warrant was obtained for Bocom's phone data, which police allege places him with Jordan throughout the day leading up to the killing. Police also allege Bocom told them in an interview that Jordan fired gunshots with a rifle during the incident. Several others have been charged with drug distribution and other crimes after a search warrant was served at a house on Chippewa Street in connection with the homicide investigation. A man from Washington was injured in an accident in St. Charles County at 6:14 yesterday morning on southbound US 61 at Route W. The 34-year-old man was driving a 2020 Chevrolet Colorado and was crossing US 61 from Route W and failed to yield to oncoming traffic. A 35-year-old man from Moscow Mills was driving a 2018 Chevrolet Malibu and struck the side of the Chevy Colorado. Both vehicles traveled off the roadway. The Colorado caught fire. Both men had minor injuries. They were transported by St. Charles County Ambulance District to SSM Health St. Joseph Hospital, Lake St. Louis. 34-year-old Louis C. Kloppel of Washington was charged with driving while intoxicated. He was later released from SSM Health St. Joseph Hospital in Lake St. Louis. The Highway Patrol made an arrest in St. Charles County at 8:22 a.m. yesterday. 35-year-old Kayla L. Dunn of Union arrested on Wentzville Police Department warrant for failure to register a vehicle and Lake St. Louis Police Department for failure to register a vehicle. She was taken to the St. Charles County Department of Corrections and was bondable. At 3:50 a.m. yesterday in Franklin County, 44-year-old Brian A. Miller of St. Clair arrested on a patrol charge of possession of a controlled substance, methamphetamine, a half gram. Franklin County driving while suspended. Eureka Police Department operating a vehicle while intoxicated. He was taken to the Franklin County Adult Detention Facility and was bondable. Investigators looking into the fire that gutted an antique shop in downtown Herman in November said the cause of the fire is undetermined, according to a report from the Missouri State Fire Marshal. The fire on November 11th destroyed the antique shop on the first floor and a bed and breakfast on the second floor. No one was injured, but the building was declared a total loss, and demolition crews have been taking the remains down ever since. In the fire marshal's report, the investigating team classified the cause of the fire as undetermined. They were able to rule out gas or electricity as possible causes, but said that there was insufficient evidence to identify a source for the ignition, making it impossible to determine how it started. During the month of January, Missouri Department of Conservation staff from the Howard Wood Urban Outreach Office in St. Louis City will lead a series of Hiking 101 virtual programs. Each program will take place from noon till 1 p.m. on successive Fridays during the month. They will introduce participants to essential hiking skills and gear, safety tips, and insights into beginner-friendly trails in the St. Louis region. All programs are free and open to all ages. However, online registration at mdc.mo.gov is required to participate. Participants can register for any or all of the programs. However, each participant must register in advance separately and provide a valid email address to receive an online meeting link. Login instructions will be provided by email beforehand. These virtual programs will be held via WebEx. The conservation also reminding area duck and goose hunters that the fall-winter migration is now in full swing and all waterfowl seasons are currently open. As colder weather continues to roll in, new birds are arriving in the St. Louis area. The St. Louis region sits in the Mississippi Flyway, which accounts for 40 to 50% of the country's annual duck harvest
and 30 to 40% of the country's goose harvest. The conservation currently has 2 intensively managed waterfowl hunting areas in the St. Louis region. They are Marais Temps Claire in St. Charles County and B.K. Leach in Lincoln County. Waterfowl population and harvest information about these 2 conservation areas can be found by calling the waterfowl hotline at 573-898-5905. Duck hunting in Missouri is split into 3 separate zones with different start and end dates for each zone. The St. Louis region has areas in both the north and middle zones. The last day of season for the north zone is December 31st. The last day of the season for the middle zone is January 5th. Goose season started on November 11th and runs through February 6th, and the light goose conservation order begins February 7th and runs through April 30th. During regular goose season, hunters may harvest Canada, Brant, greater white-fronted geese, and light geese, snow blue, and Rosses. The Missouri State Highway Patrol would like to remind you, driver examination stations throughout the state will be closed on Tuesday, December 24th at noon, and Wednesday, December 25th all day in observance of Christmas. Normal operations will resume on Thursday, December 26th. They will also be closed on Wednesday, January 1st in observance of New Year's Day. Normal operations will resume on Thursday, January 2nd. And your Franklin County Clerk, Tim Baker, wants you to know that the Franklin County Government Center, Historic Courthouse, Highway Department, and the Franklin County Health Department will all be closed on Tuesday, December 24th and Wednesday, December 25th in observance of the Christmas holiday. The Franklin County Judicial Center will remain open on Tuesday, December 24th, but be closed on Wednesday, December 25th. And then on Wednesday, January 1st, the Franklin County Government Center, Historic Courthouse, Judicial Center, Highway Department, and the Health Department will all be closed in observance of the New Year's Day holiday. The Franklin County Sheriff's Department remains open as they are 24 hours a day, each and every day. That is a look at your local news on a Thursday. I'm Sam Scott.
If you or a loved one are a Medicaid or MoHealthNet participant, don't wait for the care that you need. Whether you need to see a primary care doctor, dentist, or mental health professional, Compass Health Network is here to serve you. We specialize in making sure that our clients get the expert care they deserve as quickly as possible. Don't put your health on hold any longer. Call 844-853-8937 to schedule an appointment today. Compass Health Network, because you matter.
Whether you love them or can't stand them, surprises are a part of life. Hi, I'm Donnie Greenwald, your Sullivan Edward Jones financial advisor, and I can help get you ready for whatever life throws at you, even the welcome surprises. As your needs change, we can change what you need to do to help you end up where you want to be. And while there is never a good time to experience unexpected costs, we can work together to help make them feel a little less unexpected. Call me at 573-468-6046 or visit edwardjones.com to get started today. Edward Jones, member SIPC.
In recent funeral notices, Mary Alice Monda of Sullivan passed away Sunday, December 15th at the age of 90. Funeral services will be held at noon today at the Eaton Funeral Home in Sullivan. Burial will be in the Kinder Cemetery in Cuba. Visitation will be from 11 o'clock this morning until the time of services at noon at the Eaton Funeral Home. Memorial contributions may be given to the Alzheimer's Association in the name of Mary Alice Monda. Glenda R. Bird of Leesburg passed away Saturday, December 14th at the age of 72. A graveside service and interment will be held Friday at 11 a.m. at the Lee Cemetery in Leesburg. In lieu of flowers, memorial contributions may be made to the Lee Cemetery in the name of Glenda Bird. All arrangements are under the direction of the Mizell Funeral Home of Cuba. Anthony Albert Al Dildine of Cuba passed away Tuesday, December 17th at the age of 53. Visitation will be from 5 until 7 this evening at the Hudson Funeral Home in Cuba. A funeral service will immediately follow. Following Al's wishes, the family chose cremation as his final disposition. Kathy Jane Giesler, née Davis of St. Clair, passed away Friday, December 13th at the age of 74. A celebration of life will be held at 1 p.m. Friday at the Franklin County Baptist Center at 785 Butterfield Drive in Union. Private committal will be held at a later date. Memorials may be made to the Franklin County Humane Society in the name of Kathy Giesler. All arrangements under the direction of the Russell Colonial Funeral Home of St. Clair. Bradley Ryan Seago of Sullivan passed away Sunday, December 15th in St. Louis at the age of 48. Funeral services will be held at 11 a.m. on Saturday at the Hudson Funeral Home in Steelville. Burial will be in the Barnacle Chapel Cemetery in Steelville. Visitation will be Friday from 6 until 8 p.m. at the Hudson Funeral Home in Steelville. Memorials may be given to the American Cancer Society in the name of Bradley Seago. The complete funeral announcements with all the survivors will air with our 8 o'clock expanded edition of KTUI News this morning.
For the last couple years, my company, Level 9 Heating and Cooling, has been telling you that when it comes to your HVAC system, you've got a guy. I want you to know that in this area, I'm that guy. My name is Ben Pence, and I'm the Level 9 Sales Manager. Level 9 is committed to making sure your heating and cooling system runs at peak efficiency, both to save you money on your monthly bills and to extend the life of your system. I also want to let you know that we now offer plumbing services with a master plumber and a journeyman plumber licensed in St. Louis County, and the surrounding areas. I'm also excited to offer the preventive maintenance program for just $25 a month. We come and check your plumbing each year and your HVAC system in the spring and the fall. Preventative maintenance members also get discounts on parts and services. Level 9 Heating and Cooling is a proud premier Lennox dealer, but we service all brands. You can contact me at 636-239-3581. Remember that when it comes to heating, cooling, and now plumbing, I'm your guy.
It is 28 minutes past the hour of 6 o'clock. Mostly sunny skies for us today, high near 48. Going to be partly cloudy tonight, going to get around 24 degrees. Mostly sunny tomorrow, high only near 33. Partly cloudy tomorrow night, low around 21, and sunny on Saturday, high near 37. Mostly clear Saturday night, low around 23. Then sunny on Sunday, high near 43. Right now at the studios of KTUI, 31 degrees. Out at Sullivan Regional Airport, they're saying 30 degrees. Coming up at 8:30 this morning, going to be talking with a deputy from the Franklin County Sheriff's Office. He works in the computer lab, I believe. And then at 9:10, we've got some folks from Scenic Regional Library coming in. At 10:05, live from the White Mule Winery with Charlie Schlottick and his daughter Grace Jett, and whoever their guest would be today. Birthdays that I have for you today: Andrea Cottrell, Courtney Richardson, Boyd Thurman, and Emily Carthy. Hey, did you play the Powerball? If you did last night, the numbers were 6, 15, 18, 33, 49. Powerball was 7. The Power Play was 2 times. And according to the Powerball folks, there was no grand prize winner, so the estimated grand prize will be going up to $88 million on Saturday. And the next estimated Mega Million jackpot is tomorrow night, going to be $825 million, or you could take the cash option of $382.2 million. They draw it Friday night at 10 p.m. All right, let's see. We are coming up on 29 minutes in front of 7 o'clock. And Bobby D's got sports for you here on KTUI. Stay tuned.
Looking at sports on this Thursday from the Sullivan Bank studios of KTUI Radio, this is Bobby D. The St. Louis Blues president of hockey operations and general manager Doug Armstrong announced yesterday the team has traded defenseman P.O. Joseph to the Pittsburgh Penguins in exchange for future considerations. The 25-year-old Joseph was originally signed by the Blues as a free agent on July 3rd of 2024. This season he has appeared in 23 games, logging 2 assists and 23 penalty minutes. The Blues are headed to the Sunshine State to begin a 3-game pre-holiday road trip against the Tampa Bay Lightning tonight, which will be the two teams' final matchup this season. The Blues are coming off a 4-1 loss to the New Jersey Devils and split the season series 1-1. After facing the Lightning tonight, the Blues will take on the reigning Stanley Cup champions, the Florida Panthers, on Friday. Pre-game coverage tonight begins at 5:30, puck drop at 7:10. You'll hear it on KTUI 102.1 FM. 3 University of Missouri volleyball student-athletes were named 2024 American Volleyball Coaches Association All-Americans. Graduate outside hitter Michelle Vernon was tabbed as an AVCA third-team All-American, while senior right side hitter Jordan Iliff and junior libero Maya Sands were named honorable mention All-Americans. Missouri linebacker Chuck Hicks has announced he is opting out of the Music City Bowl against Iowa December 30th. The senior captain joins wide receiver Luther Burden III and right tackle Armand Membo in opting out. Burden and Membo had opted out after declaring for the NFL draft. Hicks explained on X yesterday that he's opting out of the game to spend time with his wife and children over the holiday season. Sophomore tight end Brett Norfleet will also miss the final game of the season after undergoing knee surgery shortly after the regular season finale against Arkansas on November 30th. Missouri bolstered its offense for next season on Wednesday night when former Louisiana Monroe running back Ahmad Hardy announced his commitment to the Tigers. Hardy joins former Mississippi State wide receiver Kevin Coleman Jr. as MU's second offensive transfer committed this cycle. Hardy was one of the best true freshman running backs in the country this season, tallying 1,351 rushing yards with 13 touchdowns. He was the number 4 running back and number 55 player overall in the portal, according to 24/7 Sports. He will have 3 years of eligibility remaining. College scoreboard from Wednesday. Missouri women's basketball saw their winning streak end at 5, falling to Oral Roberts 76-63 Wednesday night at Mizzou Arena. Senior forward Lania Randall led the Tigers with a season-high 21 points. Junior guard Ashton Judd added 18. Brooklyn Gray scored all 14 of her points in the second half to lead St. Louis to a 69-59 win over Valparaiso. Peyton Kennedy led the way for St. Louis with 15. Bob Bergstrom also had 14. Tierra Simon had a double-double with 12 points and 14 rebounds. Out in the event in Hawaii, it was Fontbonne losing to Edgewood last night 69-59. Men's basketball, Isaiah Swope led 3 St. Louis University players in double figures with 19, but Wofford held on for a 74-71 victory over the Billikens last night at Chaifetz Arena. Robbie Avila had 16. Kobe Johnson tossed in a season-high 12 points. Missouri State collected a game-high 15 from junior Michael Osei-Bonsu to turn back visiting Lincoln University 61-59 Wednesday at Great Southern Bank Arena. Vincent Brady II, Zaxton King, and Chase Martin added 10 points apiece. College wrestling from last night, the Fire Duels down in Lakeland, Florida. It was Central Methodist losing to Southeastern University 46-3. Cooper Deckard, a freshman from Washington, wrestled an exhibition match for Central Methodist, losing by decision at 133 pounds. Central Methodist beat Cornerstone 32-22 and Oklahoma City 38-18 in those duels. Ohio University dominated Bloomsburg last night 45-0. Ryan Meek from St. Clair won his match by forfeit at 125 pounds. College schedule today for women's basketball: Blackburn at Columbia College at noon, Harris Stowe at Missouri S&T at 11, Truman State at Fort Hays State out in Hawaii at 12 noon our time today, Evangel at Warner University, Florida at 3 o'clock, SIU Edwardsville, Little Rock at 5, Westminster, Illinois Tech at 5 o'clock. Men's basketball, Missouri S&T playing out in Las Vegas. They'll take on St. Mary's, Texas at 11:30. St. Louis Community College at Spoon River College at 6 o'clock tonight. High school scoreboard from Wednesday night. The games we did on 102.1 FM at the People's Bank Holiday Classic. Steelville defeating Miller Career Academy 72-40. Sullivan over Salem 58-25 in consolation bracket play. The Lady Eagles featured balanced scoring up and down the lineup last night. The championship bracket semifinals, St. James held off St. Francis Borgia 49-43, and the Owensville Dutch girls hit their free throws down the stretch to beat St. Pius X out of Festus 50-36. At the Orchard Farm Tournament, Duchesne over Cuba 55-39 in pool play. Other games, it was Fort Zumwalt West hitting a shot at the buzzer to beat Union 49-46 in varsity. Zumwalt West took the JV game 25-22. St. James JV girls tournament last night. Sullivan gets consolation over Owensville 35-25. Raleigh beats St. Clair 35-24 for third place. They didn't send me a score on the championship game between St. James and Fatima. Boys basketball, New Haven getting by Bourbon last night 54-50 in varsity, and New Haven won the JV game 38-28. At the Lynn Boys Holiday Tournament last night, a consolation semifinal, Bell defeating Lynn 56-38. It was Fort Zumwalt North over Washington 61-51 in a freshman boys game last night. Middle school basketball from yesterday. In the afternoon game, it was St. James 8th graders defeating Owensville 54-23. Owensville won the 7th grade game 35-32. Washington Middle School taking both games from North Point, 41-34 in 8th grade, 29-28 in 7th grade. High school wrestling, St. Clair boys defeating Union 59-17. St. Clair girls over Union 54-18. Washington boys lost to Fort Zumwalt South 34-31. Washington girls picking up a 47-30 win over Fort Zumwalt South in a dual meet last night. Girls basketball scheduled for today. New Haven will be at Pacific at 5:30. Cardinal Ritter at Union at 5. St. James at Sullivan for a freshman game. It'll be a freshman girls and boys doubleheader. Girls play at 5:30. Marquette at Borgia, freshman game at 5:30. And Bell at Bourbon is JV and varsity at 5:30. That game was originally scheduled for Wednesday and moved to tonight. The Cuba Lady Wildcats will be playing for third place at the Orchard Farm Girls Tournament tonight at 5:30. Final round games at the People's Bank Holiday Classic on Friday. The 7th place game will be at 2 o'clock with Miller Career Academy taking on Salem. Steelville and Sullivan meet for consolation at 3:30. Third place game is Borgia and St. Pius X at 5 o'clock. Championship is St. James and Owensville at 6:30. We'll broadcast the consolation game between Steelville and Sullivan and the championship game between St. James and Owensville. Boys basketball tonight's schedule. California at Owensville, freshman JV and varsity starting at 5. Herculaneum at St. Clair, JV and varsity at 5:30. And we mentioned St. James and Sullivan, freshman girls and boys. The boys will play at about 6:45. Sullivan Eagle boys basketball will play Lynn 4 o'clock on Friday for the 7th place game at the Lynn Holiday Tournament. Middle school boys basketball tonight, Pacific at Herman, St. James at Rolla, Union at Washington, all 5:30 starts. Lynn at New Haven gets underway at 6. High school wrestling, Sullivan and Owensville will be at Potosi for a boys and girls tri-meet at 5 o'clock. DeSmet and Windsor at Union, boys and girls tri-meet at 5. And the Central Park Hills JV boys scramble at 5 o'clock night. St. Clair will be participating. Middle school wrestling on tap tonight. Sullivan and Potosi will be at St. Clair, boys and girls tri-meet at 5. Steelville's at St. James at 5 o'clock. Union, North County, and Warrenton are at Washington for a quad meet at 5 this evening. Sports on the air, Blues hockey tonight on the road in Tampa Bay against the Lightning. Pregame at 5:30, puck drop at 6:10. You'll hear it on 102.1 KTUI FM. That's your look at sports on this Thursday from the Sullivan Bank Studios of KTUI Radio. Have a great day, everybody. This is Bobby D.
The season of savings has arrived at Seidenstricker Nobe Partners with our Compact Wonderland sale. Right now, get a John Deere Compact Tractor Package starting as low as $229 a month with 0 down. Plus, save $3,700 off the manufacturer's sticker price. All compact tractors come with our S&P 10-year guarantee. Visit us online at snpartners.com. Seidenstricker Nobe, your partner for the land.
Offer valid through 2/3/2025. Some restrictions apply. See dealer for details.
Another sluggish day for direct cash cattle business and cash hogs into the day higher. Good morning, I'm Megan Grebner with your Brownfield Livestock Market Report. CattleCon is headed to San Antonio February 4th through the 6th. Visit convention.ncba.org to get registered and be part of the cattle and beef industry's largest gathering. Direct cash cattle trade activity was relatively quiet for most of the day Wednesday. Bids did surface at $195 live and $305 dressed. Asking prices held firm at $193 to $195 live in the south and weren't established in the north. Significant trade volume will likely hold out until sometime later today or into tomorrow. At the interstate regional stockyards in Missouri, there were limited comparisons available. Feeder steers under 650 pounds were steady to $4 lower. Steers over 650 pounds were firm to $4 higher. Feeder heifers under 600 pounds were unevenly steady, and the few over 600 pounds were steady to $3 lower. Feeder supply included 43% steers. Medium and large one feeder steers, 650 to 695 pounds, brought 270 to 295.50. Medium and large one feeder heifers, 560 to 584 pounds, brought $260 to $268. Box beef closed lower with light demand from moderate offerings. Choice down 79 cents at $314.84. Select closed $295 lower at $285.55. Estimated cattle slaughter was 123,000 head, down 2,000 on the week and down about 1,000 on the year. Cash hogs closed higher with a fairly light negotiated run. Processors weren't too aggressive in their procurement efforts Wednesday afternoon. The industry continues to monitor available supplies of market-ready hogs and hog weight. It's also starting to look ahead to next week's quarterly hogs and pigs report from the USDA. Barrows and Gilt at the National Daily Direct were up 24 cents with a weighted average of 78.03. The Iowa Minnesota was 35 cents higher. The Western Corn Belt up 41 cents. Both had weighted averages of 78.02. Pork values closed higher, up $1.58 at $96.35. And estimated hog slaughter was 488,000 head, up 1,000 on the week and up about 9,000 on the year. At the CME, live and feeder cattle were lower ahead of widespread direct business and Friday's on feed numbers. And lean hog futures ended the day mixed, mostly higher on spread trade, with pork values up at midday. I'm Megan Grebner for Brownfield.
Plant a living Christmas tree and enjoy it for years to come. Hi, I'm Jody Henke. With some advanced planning and preparation, your holiday memories will live on as the tree grows when you're living the country life.
Living the Country Life. Ideas and inspiration for your place in the country. You can find more information on today's topic and from previous shows by visiting us online at livingthecountrylife.com. We'll return to the show after these messages.
Check out our full lineup of Successful Farming podcasts. The Successful Farming podcast goes in-depth into the topics that affect farmers and ranchers. The 15 Minutes with a Farmer podcast offers a quick conversation between an editor and a farmer. The SF Shorts podcast offers bite-sized interviews about agricultural topics. And the SF Daily podcast covers commodity markets, weather, and the big things happening in agriculture each morning. Search for Successful Farming wherever you download your podcasts.
This year, American farmers will harvest 2.8 billion bushels of wheat and 15.1 billion bushels of corn. And to this day, American road workers have built 4.2 million miles of roads and counting. We're proud that John Deere machines rolling off the line here in the USA play a part in supporting Americans who work the land and build a better tomorrow. Nothing runs like a Deere. Learn more at johndeere.com/manufacturing.
In our family, Christmas is officially over when the tree comes down. It's sad because we kind of get attached to the tree, and it's a shame to toss it out. Joe Lample is the host and executive producer of the show Growing a Greener World, which airs on public television. He says one way to enjoy Christmas tree beauty year-round is to plant it in the yard after the holidays. Do your homework to find an evergreen from a local nursery that will grow well in your area. Check to be sure it's healthy and has a good root system. When you get it home, Lample says don't bring it immediately into the house. It needs to be acclimated for a few days.
Put it in a sheltered area outside of your house, perhaps a garage or a carport where it's not in direct exposure to wind. Make sure that it's watered so the roots have a chance to take up more moisture. The more that tree can have access to water prior to going in the house, the better it will do once it's in the house.
The less time a living Christmas tree spends inside, the better. It shouldn't be in the house for more than a week. When you're ready to move it back outside, Lample says to reacclimate it the same way you did before bringing it inside. Then plant the tree in the ground.
If you dig the hole in advance, if it's frozen ground, you've gotten a head start on that. But maybe the ground isn't frozen when you buy your tree and you dig the hole then, and that's an ideal time to do it if possible because you have the root ball there to know how deep you need to make the hole. Only as deep as the root ball, but 2 to 3 times as wide.
Be sure to give your newly planted tree plenty of water to keep the roots moist and add mulch over the top. If the ground is frozen and there's no way you'll be digging a planting hole, Lample says it's okay to wait until you can get to it. The tree should be fine as long as it's in a protected area and isn't allowed to dry out. Learn more about living Christmas trees at livingthecountrylife.com. I'll see you in the country.
Living the Country Life. Ideas and inspiration for your place in the country. You can find more information on today's topic, share your tips, and post photos by visiting us online at livingthecountrylife.com.
Coming up on 14 minutes in front of 7 o'clock. Going to be mostly sunny today, high near 48. Partly cloudy tonight, low around 24. Then mostly sunny tomorrow, high near 33. Right now at the studios of KTUI, we have 32 degrees. Out at Sullivan Regional Airport, they're showing 30 degrees. It's time for us to go out across our wide Missouri.
Across our wide Missouri with Bob Pretty. Listen to show archives, hear about this day in Missouri history, and learn more about the Show Me State by visiting MissouriNet.com today.
Before you could take a trip from St. Louis to Kansas City by rail, you could catch a train westbound from Kansas City. During the Civil War years, Kansas City was becoming a jumping-off place for those going west by railroad, and in later years, those rails west made Kansas City into a great agricultural center and a greater railroad center than St. Louis. The story in a minute.
With Missouri Medicaid, more people can get the care they...
Yeah, but I'm a single guy with a job, so
Medicaid isn't for me.
Actually, it is. It's for single adults, families, workers, students, caregivers.
But I bet it's just basic coverage, right?
Medicaid covers more than you think. Doctor visits, prescriptions, dental care, and more.
Wow, I had no idea.
If you think Medicaid isn't for you, think again. Learn more at covermissouri.org.
Healthcare.gov has plans for health because you have plans for life. All plans cover doctor visits and emergency care to keep you and your family running strong. All plans cover hospital stays and prescriptions so you can have peace of mind. Visit healthcare.gov to explore health plans from the brands you know. 4 out of 5 customers can find a health plan for $10 or less per month with financial help. Healthcare.gov is here for you. Final deadline to enroll is January 15th. Paid for by the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services.
The Pacific Railroad, beset by the war and financial troubles, was continuing to struggle across Missouri when ground was broken in Kansas City for the Union Pacific Railroad. John Fremont and Samuel Hallett arranged a treaty in 1864 with the Delaware Indians for surrender of some of their lands from Kansas City to Leavenworth. It was announced the railroad would be finished by August the 18th, but Hallett was murdered by a former employee in July, and the first run was delayed for 4 months. The first locomotive to arrive in Kansas City came by riverboat. While workers were grading, laying the ties and track eastbound to meet up with the westbound Pacific, the Pacific Railroad hoped to put its tracks along the Kansas City riverfront, but the city was reluctant to allow that because it would hamper river traffic. The railroad finally paid the city $25,000 for the right-of-way. The tracks turned north at Pleasant Hill. It was proposed they run on to Lawrence. The tracks were joined, making a solid line from St. Louis to Kansas City in September of 1865, 3 years after Omaha had been made the northern terminus. In 1869, the Union Pacific Eastern Division, as the Pacific Railroad then was called between Kansas City and Leavenworth, changed its name to the Kansas Pacific. That same year, construction started on tracks bound for Denver. They reached there then later that year. Then the rails pushed on to Cheyenne, Wyoming to join the main line of the Union Pacific, and when that happened, a true continental railroad was completed by way of Kansas City. Leavenworth's value as a railroad center was minimized, and Kansas City boomed. Other lines were extended to the south and southwest. Almost all of them used to ship cattle from the big ranches of the west to Kansas City's stockyards, and the city quickly grew to 32,000 people. In 1869, Kansas City, Kansas was laid out, and the Burlington Bridge was built across the Missouri River to strengthen the city's position of railroad leadership. By 1875, the stockyards, the packing houses, the grain elevators were mixed among gambling houses, cowboys, and westbound immigrants still using the Independence, Kansas City area as the starting point for new land in the West. By 1900, Kansas City had more than 300 freight and 200 passenger trains in and out every day. Railroads centering in Kansas City reached 10,146 cities and towns. The mileage of those railroads totaled almost 1/4 of all rail mileage in the United States. The Kansas Pacific brought settlement to Kansas. Settlers would hop a train in Kansas City. They'd get off in Ellsworth or Hays City, where Bill Hickok supposedly restored order, or head further west. West of Ellsworth, the train had to run slowly. Sometimes it would have to stop. Why? Because of giant herds of buffalo crossing the tracks. Kansas City was already an important town because of the role and staging area for the wagon trains, but it became one of the nation's major terminals for railroad trains. And in becoming that, it became the major metropolis it is today. Today only Chicago stands above Kansas City as a major rail terminal in the United States. The railroads that helped make Kansas City the great commercial hub on the edge of the Great Plains sustain it in that role today. It all began with the first train trip west from Kansas City by rail, even before the Pacific Railroad had gotten to Kansas City from the east. That train left on this date, the 19th of December, in 1864.
That was Across Our Wide Missouri with Bob Pretty. To listen to show archives, hear about this day in Missouri history, and learn more.
Many of us have heard of, or perhaps even visited, Stonehenge, the ancient site of giant stones in England. Did you know that in southern New Hampshire, you'll find what is known as America's Stonehenge? I'll take you there on this edition of the American Countryside.
I'm Ty Morgan, host of U.S. Farm Report. Join me each weekend as we explore the news and issues that matter the most to agriculture. We know this past year has been challenging in many ways, but as agriculture continues to adapt, We are right there with you. From markets to weather, each weekend we take a deep dive into what matters most. Join me each weekend for U.S. Farm Report, timely, trusted tradition.
Why do some small towns thrive while others decline? What influences young people to live and work in some communities but not in others? How can local citizens work together to make a positive difference in their community? Andrew McCrae's latest book is here, The Total Town Makeover. Get your copy today at AmericanCountryside.com. Just click on Books at the top of the page. You'll find all of Andrew's books there, books like American Countryside, The Man Who Was President for a Day, and God's Perfect View. They're based on Andrew's radio broadcasts and are perfect for you and make great gifts. Log on today at AmericanCountryside.com.
Dennis Stone oversees a site with history that dates back thousands of years.
Well, the earliest carbon dating and astronomical data suggest about 4,000 years, about 2000 BC. But the site seems to have layers of cultures, so it wasn't just one time period. We think it was built over perhaps many different generations.
He's describing what we know as America's Stonehenge in North Salem, New Hampshire.
It's a complex of stone structures with chambers, standing stones, walls that cover about 106 acres on the hill. It does have monoliths that align with the sun, moon, and stars.
As Dennis describes, there are similarities between this site and England's Stonehenge, but the two look very different.
We think it's a ceremonial site, not a living site, so people came here probably during the different events like solstices, equinoxes, but our site is not a recreation of Stonehenge, so don't come up here looking for that. It is not a replica, it's a relic, we think. But it looks like a lot of the ancient megalithic sites, and it's one of 800 from Quebec, Canada, down to Virginia that have similarities to this site.
This site covers over 100 acres and is actually dense with ancient stone structures when compared to other similar sites in North America. There are actually many ancient stone sites scattered across all continents except Antarctica.
There is a similarity, so the question is, are these independently built without any knowledge of the other sites on the other side of the world, or was there more travel going on across the oceans than we give credit for or recognize?
There's more to this story and the mystery of who built it and for what purpose. It's next time as we travel the countryside in North Salem, New Hampshire. I'm Andrew McCrae.
What's in season this time of year? Hello, I'm Megan Grebner with Healthy Living on Brownfield. Just because it's winter doesn't mean there aren't great fresh vegetable and a few fruit options in season. Colder months are great for root vegetables like carrots, beets, parsnips, turnips, sweet potatoes, and rutabagas. Those are veggies that thrive in the cold. Other cold temperature tolerant veggies include leafy greens like kale, spinach, and Swiss chard. Brassicas like cabbage, Brussels sprouts, broccoli, and cauliflower are hardy vegetables that do well when the temperatures drop below freezing. And leeks and onions are both available in winter and help add tons of flavor to your dishes. Checking out the fruit side of things, winter is great for citrus. Think Cara oranges, those ruby red grapefruits from Texas, and sumo mandarins, which are a few of the citrus items that top the favorites list in my house. But winter's also great for holiday favorites like pomegranates and pears. Some of the benefits of eating what's in season: you're not only supporting local agriculture, but it also ensures that the food is fresher, tastier, and often more affordable. I'm Megan Grebner with Healthy Living on Brownfield.
Good morning, I'm Jared White with Agribusiness News on Brownfield. The Pioneer lineup of corn hybrids packs 100 years of innovation into every bag for a home field advantage that delivers higher profit potential and winning yield potential. Your best year starts with Pioneer. The National Pork Producers Council is disappointed Congress is not including a federal solution for Proposition 12 in its continuing resolution. MPPC President Lori Stevermer says the California animal housing laws created a lot of uncertainty.
To see this come down to the wire and to not have that in there is disappointing.
She tells Brownfield MPPC will continue pushing for a fix in the next farm bill to prevent a patchwork of state regulations.
We have California's Prop 12. We have Massachusetts question 3, the concern has been what if another state puts some type of regulation in? And so it's that uncertainty that has really been first and foremost in our producers' minds.
The Minnesota pig farmer says Prop 12 has increased operating costs for pork producers, created future business uncertainty, and raised consumer prices. U.S. Congressman Zach Nunn says the continuing resolution has some good measures for agriculture, but he's disappointed with overall work on the Farm Bill over the last year.
I'm beyond disappointed, to be candid with you. We had a bipartisan bill passed in the House all the way back early last spring, and the Senate just refused to bring up any version of a bill.
The Iowa Republican tells Brownfield farmers and ranchers need a new 5-year farm bill, and he's frustrated with Senate Ag Committee leadership.
Sadly, this is going to be Debbie Stabenow, the chairwoman of Ag's legacy.
Nunn says he's ready to get to work on a new farm bill in early 2025. A Wisconsin farmer has implemented several conservation practices that have dramatically changed the family farm. Brownfield's Larry Lee has the story.
Joe Bragger and his family farm in the hills and valleys near Independence, close to the Mississippi River.
We originally started with no-till. On our farm, if you didn't no-till, you were limited by how much you could farm, depending how much rock you could pick. So going to no-till was a natural, but we had no idea how that would start benefiting the soil.
Bragger says with no-till and cover crops, buffer zones, and grass waterways, less than 2% of the precipitation has become runoff in the last 7 years, helping keep soil, nutrients, and moisture in fields where it belongs. Bragger says he's also using more small grains in his crop rotation.
We're always trying to find that thing that'll work good, that'll allow us to put cover crops out there a little earlier in the year. Small grains are a great option for that.
From the Wisconsin Water and Soil Health Conference in Wisconsin Dells, I'm Larry Lee, Brownfield Ag News.
And 2024 broiler sets and placements remain on a faster than 2023 pace. The USDA says 247 million broiler-type eggs were sent into incubators last week, up 1.8 million from the prior week and 3% above a year ago, with the average hatchability remaining just under 80%. 194 million broiler-type chicks were placed into meat production. For these stories and more, visit BrownfieldAgNews.com. I'm Jared White for Brownfield.
I actually wrote it on a rock at one point. 1 Samuel 7, I think it's verse 12. Thus far the Lord has helped us. And I kept it in the console of my car.
This is Focus on the Family Minute with Jody Burnt.
Because just looking at what he had done in one situation would fill me with faith to pray for the next. Because I don't know about you, Jim, but I never have fully learned to relax and trust God. Every new mountain that comes along, every wave that hits, we live at the beach, and I feel like there's a lot of, hurricane warnings. Every time we get one of those things in our parenting, my default position can be immediately to go to worry. What if? Can I trust God? And so I think those Ebenezer stones, those times of reflection of what God has done in the past, thus far he's helped us, can really equip us to pray with faith and boldness for the future.
More from Jody on trusting God's promises at FamilyMinute.org.
We're coming up on the 7 o'clock hour here at the studios of KTUI. We've got 32 degrees. It's 30 out at Sullivan Regional Airport. Coming up, I've got Franklin County Sheriff's Deputy coming in at 8:30 and Scenic Regional Library at 9:10. And then live from the White Mule Winery at 10:05. We are AM 1560 KTUI Sullivan. Pick us up on YouTube, Facebook, and tune in. It's 7 o'clock.
Breaking news this hour from townhall.com. I'm Jeremy House. The suspect in the killing of a healthcare insurance company CEO is expected to waive extradition to New York.
The man accused of gunning down the CEO of United Healthcare on a Manhattan street is scheduled to appear in court in Pennsylvania today for a preliminary hearing on forgery and firearms charges. A person familiar with the matter says Luigi Mangione is also expected to waive extradition, clearing the way for his return to New York. If the judge in Blair County, Pennsylvania authorizes the extradition, Mangione could be brought back to New York to appear in state court for arraignment. Mangione faces charges of murder as an act of terrorism in New York for the December 4th killing of United Healthcare Chief Executive Brian Thompson. I'm Donna Warder.
The Federal Reserve has cut its key interest rate by 1/4 point, its third cut this year. Federal Reserve Board Chairman Jerome Powell says the Fed is predicting fewer rate cuts next year than previously thought.
A slower pace of cuts for next year really reflects both the higher inflation readings we've had this year and the expectation inflation will be higher.
The Fed's expectation of just 2 rate cuts in 2025 rattled Wall Street yesterday, sending stock prices plummeting in the worst day for the market in 4 months. Israel launched 2 waves of airstrikes on Yemen overnight, its military acknowledging carrying out the strikes on 3 ports in Yemen and energy sites in Sana'a, saying it was targeting infrastructure used by the Houthi rebels to stage their attacks in the Red Sea. The International Brotherhood of Teamsters says workers at 7 Amazon facilities are striking this morning. On Wall Street, Dow futures are ahead 259 points. More on these stories at townhall.com.
Anyone with everyday aches and pains, I've got a question. What are you missing out on? Probably a lot. So let me tell you about Relief Factor. Relief Factor is a drug-free daily supplement that helps your body fight pain naturally. It doesn't just mask pain, it helps reduce or even eliminate it. In about 3 weeks, you'll discover what it's like to feel better. Go to relieffactor.com or call 1-800-4RELIEF and save on your first order. That's 1-800-4RELIEF.
Not sure how much you know about Progressive Insurance. You may know us for insuring your home and auto. You may know a couple of our commercials. But what you may not know is that since 2013, Progressive has been honoring veterans with vehicle donations through the annual Keys to Progress Veteran Vehicle Giveaway Program, giving back to those who gave so much. Now, you probably didn't wake up today saying, I really wish I knew more about Progressive Insurance, but this seemed like the type of thing people wouldn't mind hearing about. Find out more about how we're dedicated to our customers and communities at Progressive.com. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates.
Bible. A drug kingpin has died.
Rayful Edmond, a notorious drug kingpin who controlled a significant portion of Washington, D.C.'s cocaine trade during the 1980s crack epidemic, has died in federal custody. He was 60 years old. Known as the King of Cocaine, Edmond ran a vast drug network tied to numerous homicides. Arrested in 1989, at 24, he was sentenced to life in prison for his crimes, later receiving an additional 30 years for continuing illegal activities from within prison. No details on his cause of death. John Scott reported.
Italy's Deputy Premier Matteo Salvini is sounding defiant as he awaits a verdict in Sicily for preventing some 100 migrants from disembarking a rescue boat in 2019 when he was the Interior Minister. Salvini told a rally last night that, quote, defending the borders, the honor of a country can never be a crime. News and analysis at townhall.com. A new Pentagon report is out on China.
The Pentagon report says China is expanding its nuclear force, has increased military pressure against Taiwan, and has strengthened its ties with Russia. Those actions are accelerating key areas of conflict with the United States. A senior defense official warned that Beijing is working towards developing a more diverse and technologically sophisticated nuclear force. While the expected number of nuclear warheads has maintained consistent growth, China is broadening its targeting abilities. I'm Lisa Dwyer.
A Kansas official who is an informal advisor to President-elect Donald Trump's transition team on immigration issues doesn't expect mass deportations to prompt arrests of migrants at sensitive locations such as schools and churches. More on these stories at townhall.com.
Missouri Net News, I'm Anthony Morabit. The U.S. Senate has passed the $895 billion defense authorization bill. It's now ready to be signed by the president. Ashley Bird has more.
Senators voted 85-14 for the NDAA, which includes a 14.5% pay increase for junior enlisted troops and a 4.5% raise for all other service members. Missouri Senator Eric Schmidt is on the Armed Services Committee and says the state directly benefits from workforce programs, a special project at Missouri S&T for advanced minerals processing, and funding for Fort Leonard Wood, Whiteman Air Force Base, and Boeing St. Louis. Schmidt says he's proud of including in the bill a temporary block on hiring DEI professionals in the Defense Department.
Missouri U.S. Senator Josh Hawley is proposing a new child tax credit under Under his bill, it would increase the maximum value to $5,000 per child, up from $2,000. It would let parents earn the tax credit during the tax year of pregnancy, and he says it also would give families the option of receiving the tax credit as regular installments through the year. The Hall of Famous Missourians has a new member.
A bronze bust of former U.S. Senator Roy Blunt joins 53 other statues of famous Missourians in the hall. Blunt tells MissouriNet what he thinks is one of his greatest political accomplishments.
In the last decade, Senator Stabenow from Michigan and I worked a lot on mental health issues. I think that maybe has some of the biggest national impact in how we discuss mental health and also how we understand the importance of treating mental health.
Blunt, a Republican, has also been influential in boosting federal funding to community health centers and medical research for the National Institutes of Health.
5 adults have been arrested with causing the death of a 49-day-old infant. KMOV-TV reports raids were conducted by the Lincoln County Sheriff's Office, St. Louis County Police Department, and the U.S. Marshals Service. This is MissouriNet.
We are the keepers of the wild. For more than 80 years, we've been committed to conserving the natural landscapes that define our nation. Nothing is more important than maintaining wild spaces for adventurers to explore and wildlife to thrive. We are America's hunters and target shooters. Together with firearm, ammunition, and archery manufacturers, we've supported the conservation of more than 36 million acres of American wildlands. For more information, visit OutdoorStewards.org.
At National Geographic Society, we believe in the power of wonder. It drives us to explore, pushes us to see the world differently, moves us to action. And we believe that today, wonder is more essential than ever. Wow. That's why we're supporting a new generation of explorers to ask big questions, make breakthroughs, and bring the future closer. Wonder awaits. Will you join us? Visit natgeo.org/wonder.
Is home to the largest trout rearing center operated by the Missouri Department of Conservation. Next door is the brand new Conservation Education Center, which received $7 million to upgrade and double the place's size. Warren Rose says one reason you should visit is to see its world-famous slithering resident.
Tiger lily, which is a two-headed western black rat snake. That snake been seen viewed around the world. It's a great opportunity to teach people about snakes and their importance here in the natural world.
The State Department of Natural Resources has awarded $14 million in financial assistance to the Metropolitan St. Louis Sewer District for upgrades to its sewer collection system. The funding is expected to cover the project's estimated total cost, and it should be completed by April of 2026. Additionally, in the St. Louis area, the cold weather migration of ducks and geese is in full swing. The State Department of Conservation reminds hunters that all waterfowl seasons are currently underway there. This is MissouriNet.
For the last couple years, my company, Level 9 Heating and Cooling, has been telling you that when it comes to your HVAC system, you've got a guy. I want you to know that in this area, I'm that guy. My name is Ben Pence, and I'm the Level 9 Sales Manager. Level 9 is committed to making sure your heating and cooling system runs at peak efficiency, both to save you money on your monthly bills and to extend the life of your system. I also want to let you know that we now offer plumbing services with a master plumber and a journeyman plumber licensed in St. Louis County, and the surrounding areas. I'm also excited to offer the preventive maintenance program for just $25 a month. We come and check your plumbing each year and your HVAC system in the spring and the fall. Preventative maintenance members also get discounts on parts and services. Level 9 Heating and Cooling is a proud premier Lennox dealer, but we service all brands. You can contact me at 636-239-3581. Remember that when it comes to heating, cooling, and now plumbing, I'm your guy.
Another suspect's been charged in the shooting death of CBC high school hockey player Colin Brown. 28-year-old Donovan Bocom has been charged with first-degree murder, first-degree assault, unlawful use of a weapon, and 3 counts of armed criminal action. St. Louis police say Bocom was arrested on Tuesday. Homicide detectives met with the circuit attorney's office yesterday morning, and charges were filed shortly afterward. A judge denied bond for Bocom. Yesterday's announcement comes less than a week after Garrett Jordan III was charged with first-degree murder, first-degree assault, unlawful use of a weapon, and 3 counts of armed criminal action in the fatal shooting. A probable cause statement against Bocom claims he admitted to driving an Audi during the shooting. A witness told police the vehicle was hers and that she gave the vehicle to Balcom the day of the murder, the statement alleges. A search warrant was obtained for Balcom's phone data, which police allege places him with Jordan throughout the day leading up to the killing. Police also allege Balcom told them in an interview that Jordan fired gunshots with a rifle during the incident. Several others have been charged with drug distribution and other crimes after a search warrant was served at a house on Chippewa Street in connection with the homicide investigation. A man from Washington was injured in an accident in St. Charles County at 6:14 yesterday morning on southbound US 61 at Route W. The 34-year-old man was driving a 2020 Chevrolet Colorado and was crossing US 61 from Route W and failed to yield to oncoming traffic. A 35-year-old man from Moscow Mills was driving a 2018 Chevrolet Malibu and struck the side of the Chevy Colorado. Both vehicles traveled off the roadway. The Colorado caught fire. Both men had minor injuries. They were transported by St. Charles County Ambulance District to SSM Health St. Joseph Hospital, Lake St. Louis. 34-year-old Louis C. Kloppel of Washington was charged with driving while intoxicated. He was later released from SSM Health St. Joseph Hospital in Lake St. Louis. The Highway Patrol made an arrest in St. Charles County at 8:22 a.m. yesterday. 35-year-old Kayla L. Dunn of Union arrested on Wentzville Police Department warrant for failure to register a vehicle and Lake St. Louis Police Department for failure to register a vehicle. She was taken to the St. Charles County Department of Corrections and was bondable. At 3:50 a.m. yesterday in Franklin County, 44-year-old Brian A. Miller of St. Clair arrested on a patrol charge of possession of a controlled substance, methamphetamine, a half gram. Franklin County driving while suspended. Eureka Police Department operating a vehicle while intoxicated. He was taken to the Franklin County Adult Detention Facility and was bondable. Investigators looking into the fire that gutted an antique shop in downtown Herman in November said the cause of the fire is undetermined, according to a report from the Missouri State Fire Marshal. The fire on November 11th destroyed the antique shop on the first floor and a bed and breakfast on the second floor. No one was injured, but the building was declared a total loss, and demolition crews have been taking the remains down ever since. In the fire marshal's report, the investigating team classified the cause of the fire as undetermined. They were able to rule out gas or electricity as possible causes, but said that there was insufficient evidence to identify a source for the ignition, making it impossible to determine how it started. During the month of January, Missouri Department of Conservation staff from the Howard Wood Urban Outreach Office in St. Louis City will lead a series of Hiking 101 virtual programs. Each program will take place from noon till 1 p.m. on successive Fridays during the month. They will introduce participants to essential hiking skills and gear, safety tips, and insights into beginner-friendly trails in the St. Louis region. All programs are free and open to all ages. However, online registration at mdc.mo.gov is required to participate. Participants can register for any or all of the programs. However, each participant must register in advance separately and provide a valid email address to receive an online meeting link. Login instructions will be provided by email beforehand. These virtual programs will be held via WebEx. The conservation also reminding area duck and goose hunters that the fall-winter migration is now in full swing and all waterfowl seasons are currently open. As colder weather continues to roll in, new birds are arriving in the St. Louis area. The St. Louis region sits in the Mississippi Flyway, which accounts for 40 to 50% of the country's annual duck harvest and 30 to 40% of the country's goose harvest. The conservation currently has 2 intensively managed waterfowl hunting areas in the St. Louis region. They are Marais Temps Claire in St. Charles County and B.K. Leach in Lincoln County. Waterfowl population and harvest information about these 2 conservation areas can be found by calling the waterfowl hotline at 573-898-5905. Duck hunting in Missouri is split into 3 separate zones with different start and end dates for each zone. The St. Louis region has areas in both the north and middle zones. The last day of season for the north zone is December 31st. The last day of the season for the middle zone is January 5th. Goose season started on November 11th and runs through February 6th,
and the Light Goose Conservation Order begins February 7th and runs through April 30th. During regular goose season, hunters may harvest Canada, Brant, greater white-fronted geese, and light geese, snow blue, and Rosses. The Missouri State Highway Patrol would like to remind you, driver examination stations throughout the state will be closed on Tuesday, December 24th at noon, and Wednesday, December 25th all day in observance of Christmas. Normal operations will resume on Thursday, December 26th. They will also be closed on Wednesday, January 1st in observance of New Year's Day. Normal operations will resume on Thursday, January 2nd. And your Franklin County Clerk, Tim Baker, wants you to know that the Franklin County Government Center, Historic Courthouse, Highway Department, and the Franklin County Health Department will all be closed on Tuesday, December 24th and Wednesday, December 25th in observance of the Christmas holiday. The Franklin County Judicial Center will remain open on Tuesday, December 24th, but be closed on Wednesday, December 25th. And then on Wednesday, January 1st, the Franklin County Government Center, Historic Courthouse, Judicial Center, Highway Department, and the Health Department will all be closed in observance of the New Year's Day holiday. The Franklin County Sheriff's Department remains open as they are 24 hours a day, each and every day. That is a look at your local news on a Thursday. I'm Sam Scott.
At Sullivan Bank, we are committed to being a step up in service. We support our customers through every chapter of life. This includes your business endeavors, which is why we offer our Sullivan Bank Business app, where you can deposit your business checks, make transfers, and receive real-time alerts. Stop by Sullivan Bank today to experience a step up in service for yourself.
Your 401k is likely one of your most important assets, but it's only one part of a comprehensive retirement strategy. Edward Jones can help you understand how your retirement assets fit into your entire retirement picture so you can work toward meeting your unique retirement goals. Contact me, Donnie Greenwald, your Sullivan Edward Jones financial advisor at number 10 First Community Plaza in Sullivan. Edward Jones, member SIPC.
In recent funeral notices, Mary Alice Monda of Sullivan passed away Sunday, December 15th at the age of 90. Funeral services will be held at noon today at the Eaton Funeral Home in Sullivan. Burial will be in the Kinder Cemetery in Cuba. Visitation will be from 11 o'clock this morning until the time of services at noon at the Eaton Funeral Home. Memorial contributions may be given to the Alzheimer's Association in the name of Mary Alice Monda. Glenda R. Bird of Leesburg passed away Saturday, December 14th at the age of 72. A graveside service and interment will be held Friday at 11 a.m. at the Lee Cemetery in Leesburg. In lieu of flowers, memorial contributions may be made to the Lee Cemetery in the name of Glenda Bird. All arrangements are under the direction of the Mizell Funeral Home of Cuba. Anthony Albert Al Dildine of Cuba passed away Tuesday, December 17th at the age of 53. Visitation will be from 5 until 7 this evening at the Hudson Funeral Home in Cuba. A funeral service will immediately follow. Following Al's wishes, the family chose cremation as his final disposition. Kathy Jane Giesler, née Davis of St. Clair, passed away Friday, December 13th at the age of 74. A celebration of life will be held at 1 p.m. Friday at the Franklin County Baptist Center at 785 Butterfield Drive in Union. Private committal will be held at a later date. Memorials may be made to the Franklin County Humane Society in the name of Kathy Giesler. All arrangements under the direction of the Russell Colonial Funeral Home of St. Clair. Bradley Ryan Seago of Sullivan passed away Sunday, December 15th in St. Louis at the age of 48. Funeral services will be held at 11 a.m. on Saturday at the Hudson Funeral Home in Steelville. Burial will be in the Barnacle Chapel Cemetery in Steelville. Visitation will be Friday from 6 until 8 p.m. at the Hudson Funeral Home in Steelville. Memorials may be given to the American Cancer Society in the name of Bradley Seago. The complete funeral announcements with all the survivors will air with our 8 o'clock expanded edition of KTUI News this morning.
If you or a loved one are a Medicaid or MoHealthNet participant, don't wait for the care that you need. Whether you need to see a primary care doctor, dentist, or mental health professional, Compass Health Network is here to serve you. We specialize in making sure that our clients get the expert care they deserve as quickly as possible. Don't put your health on hold any longer. Call 844-853-8937 to schedule an appointment today. Compass Health Network, because you matter.
New Testament Baptist Church in Sullivan is starting a new addiction recovery ministry called Life Issues. It's a biblical approach to the 12 steps, bringing scriptural principles into personal focus and making them come alive for transformational living. Whether you struggle with addictions, food, depression, anxiety, or relationships, you'll be encouraged to see how others have found a new way of life with hope for the future through this program. Life Issues will meet weekly on Thursdays at 6:30 p.m. at New Testament Baptist Church. You're not alone. To find out more, contact New Testament Baptist Church at 573-468-3334.
It is 21 minutes past the hour of 7 o'clock on a Thursday morning. It's going to be mostly sunny today. High near 48, partly cloudy tonight, low around 24 degrees. Mostly sunny tomorrow. The high is going to be around 33. Partly cloudy tomorrow night, low around 21. Sunny on Saturday, high near 37. Mostly clear Saturday night, low around 23 degrees, and then sunny on Sunday with a high near 43. Right now at the studios of KTUI, we've got 32 degrees out at Sullivan Regional Airport. They're saying 30 degrees. The Franklin County Sheriff's Office is sending one of their deputies from the computer division, I think, to talk with us at 8:30 this morning. At 9:10, I'll be talking to some folks from Scenic Regional Library. I think the Sullivan manager, Sydney Lewis, said she'd be here today. And then at 10:05 this morning, live from the White Mule Winery. Birthdays that I have today: Andrea Cottrell, Courtney Richardson, Boyd Thurman, and Jim Bartle's daughter, Emily Carthy. She's 30 today, so happy birthday to all of those folks. Bobby D's got some sports coming up for you here on KTUI. Stay tuned.
Looking at sports on this Thursday from the Sullivan Bank Studios of KTUI Radio, this is Bobby D. The St. Louis Blues president of hockey operations and general manager Doug Armstrong announced yesterday the team has traded defenseman P.O. Joseph to the Pittsburgh Penguins in exchange for future considerations. The 25-year-old Joseph was originally signed by the Blues as a free agent on July 3rd of 2024. This season he has appeared in 23 games, logging 2 assists and 23 penalty minutes. The Blues are headed to the Sunshine State to begin a 3-game pre-holiday road trip against the Tampa Bay Lightning tonight, which will be the two teams' final matchup this season. The Blues are coming off a 4-1 loss to the New Jersey Devils and split the season series 1-1. After facing the Lightning tonight, the Blues will take on the reigning Stanley Cup champions, the Florida Panthers, on Friday. Pre-game coverage tonight begins at 5:30, puck drop at 7:10. You'll hear it on KTUI 102.1 FM. 3 University of Missouri volleyball student athletes were named 2024 American Volleyball Coaches Association All-Americans. Graduate outside hitter Michelle Vernon was tabbed as an AVCA third-team All-American, while senior right-side hitter Jordan Iliff and junior libero Maya Sands were named honorable mention All-Americans. Missouri linebacker Chuck Hicks has announced he is opting out of the Music City Bowl against Iowa December 30th. The senior captain joins wide receiver Luther Burden III and right tackle Armand Membo in opting out. Burden and Membo had opted out after declaring for the NFL draft. Hicks explained on X yesterday that he's opting out of the game to spend time with his wife and children over the holiday season. Sophomore tight end Brett Norfleet will also miss the final game of the season after undergoing knee surgery shortly after the regular season finale against Arkansas on November 30th. Missouri bolstered its offense for next season on Wednesday night when former Louisiana Monroe running back Ahmad Hardy announced his commitment to the Tigers. Hardy joins former Mississippi State wide receiver Kevin Coleman Jr. as MU's second offensive transfer committed this cycle. Hardy was one of the best true freshman running backs in the country this season, tallying 1,351 rushing yards with 13 touchdowns. He was the number 4 running back and number 55 player overall in the portal, according to 24/7 Sports. He will have 3 years of eligibility remaining. College scoreboard from Wednesday. Missouri women's basketball saw their winning streak end at 5, falling to Oral Roberts 76-63 Wednesday night at Mizzou Arena. Senior forward Lania Randall led the Tigers with a season-high 21 points. Junior guard Ashton Judd added 18. Brooklyn Gray scored all 14 of her points in the second half to lead St. Louis to a 9 win over Valparaiso. Peyton Kennedy led the way for St. Louis with 15. Maya Bergstrom also had 14. Tierra Simon had a double-double with 12 points and 14 rebounds. Out in the event in Hawaii, it was Fontbonne losing to Edgewood last night 69-59. Men's basketball, Isaiah Swope led 3 St. Louis University players in double figures with 19, but Wofford held on for a 74-71 victory over the Billikens last night at Chaifetz Arena. Robbie Avila had 16. Kobe Johnson tossed in a season-high 12 points. Missouri State collected a game-high 15 from junior Michael Osei-Bonsu to turn back visiting Lincoln University 61-59 Wednesday at Great Southern Bank Arena. Vincent Brady II, Zaxton King, and Chase Martin added 10 points apiece. College wrestling from last night, the Fire Duels down in Lakeland, Florida. It was Central Methodist losing to Southeastern University 46-3. Cooper Deckard, a freshman from Washington, wrestled an exhibition match for Central Methodist, losing by decision at 133 pounds. Central Methodist beat Cornerstone 32-22 and Oklahoma City 38-18 in those duels. Ohio University dominated Bloomsburg last night 45-0. Ryan Meek from St. Clair won his match by forfeit at 125 pounds. College schedule today for women's basketball: Blackburn at Columbia College at noon, Harris Stowe at Missouri S&T at 11, Truman State at Fort Hays State out in Hawaii at 12 noon our time today, Evangel at Warner University, Florida at 3 o'clock, SIU Edwardsville, Little Rock at 5, Westminster, Illinois Tech at 5 o'clock. Men's basketball, Missouri S&T playing out in Las Vegas. They'll take on St. Mary's, Texas at 11:30. St. Louis Community College at Spoon River College at 6 o'clock tonight. High school scoreboard from Wednesday night, the games we did on 102.1 FM at the People's Bank Holiday Classic. Steelville defeating Miller Career Academy 72-40. Sullivan over Salem 58-25 in consolation bracket play. The Lady Eagles featured balanced scoring up and down the lineup last night. The championship bracket semifinals, St. James held off St. Francis Borgia 49-43, and the Owensville Dutch girls hit their free throws down the stretch to beat St. Pius X out of Festus 50-36. At the Orchard Farm Tournament, Duchesne over Cuba 55-39 in pool play. Other games, it was Fort Zumwalt West hitting a shot at the buzzer to beat Union 49-46 in varsity. Zumwalt West took the JV game 25-22. St. James JV girls tournament last night. Sullivan gets consolation over Owensville 35-25. Raleigh beats St. Clair 35-24 for third place. They didn't send me a score on the championship game between St. James and Fatima. Boys basketball, New Haven getting by Bourbon last night 54-50 in varsity, and New Haven won the JV game 38-28. At the Lynn Boys Holiday Tournament last night, a consolation semifinal, Bell defeating Lynn 56-38. It was Fort Zumwalt North over Washington 61-51 in a freshman boys game last night. Middle school basketball from yesterday. In the afternoon game, it was St. James 8th graders defeating Owensville 54-23. Owensville won the 7th grade game 35-32. Washington Middle School taking both games from North Point 41-34 in 8th grade, 29-28 in 7th grade. High school wrestling, St. Clair boys defeating Union 59-17. St. Clair girls over Union 54-18. Washington boys lost to Fort Zumwalt South 34-31. Washington girls picking up a 47-30 win over Fort Zumwalt South in a dual meet last night. Girls basketball scheduled for today. New Haven will be at Pacific at 5:30. Cardinal Ritter at Union at 5. St. James at Sullivan for a freshman game. It'll be a freshman girls and boys doubleheader. Girls play at 5:30. Marquette at Borgia, freshman game at 5:30. And Bell at Bourbon is JV and varsity at 5:30. That game was originally scheduled for Wednesday and moved to tonight. The Cuba Lady Wildcats will be playing for third place at the Orchard Farm Girls Tournament tonight at 5:30. Final round games at the People's Bank Holiday Classic on Friday. The 7th place game will be at 2 o'clock with Miller Career Academy taking on Salem. Steelville and Sullivan meet for consolation at 3:30. Third place game is Borgia and St. Pius X at 5 o'clock. Championship is St. James and Owensville at 6:30. We'll broadcast the consolation game between Steelville and Sullivan and the championship game between St. James and Owensville. Boys basketball tonight's schedule, California at Owensville, freshman JV and varsity starting at 5. Herculaneum at St. Clair, JV and varsity at 5:30. And we mentioned St. James and Sullivan, freshman girls and boys. The boys will play at about 6:45. Sullivan Eagle boys basketball will play Lynn 4 o'clock on Friday for the 7th place game at the Lynn Holiday Tournament. Middle school boys basketball tonight, Pacific at Herman, St. James at Rolla, Union at Washington, all 5:30 starts. Lynn at New Haven gets underway at 6. High school wrestling, Sullivan and Owensville will be at Potosi for a boys and girls tri-meet at 5 o'clock. DeSmet and Windsor at Union, boys and girls tri-meet at 5. And the Central Park Hills JV boys scramble at 5 o'clock night. St. Clair will be participating. Middle school wrestling on tap tonight. Sullivan and Potosi will be at St. Clair, boys and girls tri-meet at 5. Steel Bills at St. James at 5 o'clock. Union, North County, and Warrenton are at Washington for a quad meet at 5 this evening. Sports on the air, Blues hockey tonight. On the road in Tampa Bay against the Lightning. Pregame at 5:30. Puck drop at 6:10. You'll hear it on 102.1 KTUI FM. That's your look at sports on this Thursday from the Sullivan Bank Studios of KTUI Radio. Have a great day, everybody. This is Bobby D.
At Seidenstricker Nobe, we're here to keep your equipment running strong. Right now, our winter service packages come with free pickup and delivery on all John Deere 1 through 5 series tractors, gators, and mowers. Let our certified technicians get your equipment prepped and ready for spring. Book your service today and enjoy worry-free maintenance with free pickup and delivery only for a limited time. Seidenstricker Nobe, your partner for the land.
Offer valid through 12/31/2024. Some restrictions apply. See dealer for details.
It is 29 minutes in front of 8 o'clock here at the studios of KTUI. I'm Sam Scott. Mike Bittner along with me this morning. Good morning, Mike.
Good morning, Sam.
And we've got about 32 degrees here, 30 degrees out at Sullivan Regional Airport. You know, it's going to get up to 48 today, but only 33 tomorrow.
Yeah, it's going to be cold tomorrow.
Going to be down to 24 tonight.
Ooh.
And then partly cloudy, low around 21 tomorrow night. Sunny on Saturday, high near 37, and then Sunday, sunny, high near 43.
Sunday. Oh, no.
Yeah. So, all right. Some local birthdays that I have today. My cousin, Andrea Cottrell.
Yes.
Courtney Richardson.
Courtney's birthday today.
Yeah.
Happy birthday, Courtney.
Boyd Thurman. And Jim Bartle's daughter, Emily Carthy.
Yeah.
She's 30 years old today.
Wow, boy.
And then I saw where Angie Holmick has a birthday today.
I didn't know that.
Yeah,
well,
she's not really a cousin, but sort of through marriage. She's married to
marriage cousins.
one of my
one of your cousins.
Yeah, well, no, he's my cousin's wife. Yeah, Sam Holmick.
Oh, okay, all right.
So anyway,
and today would have been Kathy's 77th birthday. And,
oh yeah.
Yeah, I want to thank people. They've already got some texts this morning from people, and I appreciate that. Thank you.
Yeah. Well,
life goes on.
Yeah.
You know,
and there's always,
Yeah.
the firsts.
Yes, first of everything are tough.
First Thanksgiving. The first.
Your dad and you were going through the same thing.
I know.
So what we got?
First, it's Thursday.
Yeah. Do you have any Prinks Shingon tires? And I know I'm Shinshan. I'm butchering his name.
So, no.
Well, you can get them up in St. Louis.
Can you?
And in TB in St. Louis, they are available there. I looked up to see where they were available. More than 541,000 snow tires have been recalled because they do not provide sufficient traction in snow. That's according to the Highway Traffic and Safety Administration. If they don't have enough traction in the snow, then they're pretty much useless.
Do people buy snow tires anymore?
Yes, they do. I mean, I used to when we had polyester. That was before radials. We had polyester tires, and I used to have snow tires. You just switched them out. Had them on rims and just switched them out every year.
I can't remember. I may have had a car that I had snow tires for, and switch the rims. I
used to have little stubs in them. Snow tires.
Yeah, but I mean, I don't know. I just drive.
Yeah. Well, radios made a big difference.
Snow doesn't bother me too much. Ice.
I don't. Well, ice should bother everybody.
Yeah. But I can drive in the snow. That doesn't bother me. I had. I don't know. I had a pickup. I had two Dodge Dakotas.
Right.
One was I think it was like an '87.
I remember the one.
It was light blue. It had a camper shell on it.
Yeah.
And it was a single cab.
Was it brown? Dan one, the one we used to drive around and we were going bowling tournaments?
Well, that was the brown one. Yeah.
That was the brown one. Okay.
I called it ginger. I mean, that was actually what the
name of it was actually ginger?
Ginger brown or something like that on it. And my wife called it something completely different.
She was right, though. I'm not arguing whether you can, but I'm not.
Well, but anyway, no, the first one, the single cab Dakota, it was a 6-cylinder, 5-speed, and it was a long bed with a camper shell on it.
Yeah.
And it was 2-wheel drive, and it was great in the snow. It'd go anywhere, do anything, and then I got the quad cab, and it was still a stick shift, but it had a V8 engine in it, and it had a camper shell on it. Of course, it was a shorter bed, because it was a quad cab. And I really liked the truck, but in 2-wheel drive, it'd slide around. I was like, my other Dakota didn't do this.
Yep.
And you put it in 4-wheel drive, it was fine.
Yeah.
But so, I had that truck a long time, and I probably put it in 4-wheel drive 6 times maybe.
Yeah, I had 4-wheel drive truck, and for around 4 or 5 years I bought it, and I used it one time. Used 4-wheel drive one time, and it was get up a driveway, and it didn't make it up the driveway in my house. So.
Well.
In 4-wheel drive.
That's because your driveway is at a 70-degree slant.
It is straight up.
Yeah.
It is straight up.
I think the Olympic bobsled team could use your driveway to get going. Yeah. Good grief.
Yeah. Tell you what, you ought to walk down there and get your mail. If there's ice on the ground, you walk down the grass.
Yeah.
Because if you walk down the driveway, you're going to be across the street to Robert's house.
I think I'd go out your basement and walk around.
Might have been easier. It probably would be easier that way, yeah.
Oh, well.
Anyway, if you've got those tires,
they're
going to be sending out letters February 1st. Yeah, it's pretty much over by then.
Yeah, when the snow's about to quit. Yeah.
But you can contact the PCT&A, which is the name of the tire company, or you can call them at 1-310-205-8355, or National Highway Traffic and Safety Administration at 1-888-327-4236. They are made in China.
So, I got a Pontiac Solstice.
Yes.
And it's got big, wide tires on it and everything. And we know somebody that was wanting to buy a Solstice.
Yeah.
And he sent me some questions, what about this and that, how is it in the snow? And I told him, he'd asked some questions. I said, I really like it. It's a good third car.
Yeah, a fun car.
And, so he asked me some other questions. Then he was like, how is it in the snow? And I said, it's a good third car.
Yeah. The thing weighs about 50 pounds. What do you think it's going to be?
Oh, no, it's heavy. For a little car, it's
heavy,
wide.
Yeah.
It's wide. I don't.
Well, it's wide track. Pontiac was a wide track automobile.
Yeah, I mean, it's short, but it's wide. It's got a short wheelbase on it.
Why are you looking at me when you said short and wide? Just asking. I'm asking for a friend,
Yeah. So my wife, when we only had 2 cars, my wife used to drive the Solstice back and forth to work, but if it snowed, then she would take the truck, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah. She would take
you had the truck there.
Yeah. She'd take the truck, and I would slip and slide to the. Of course, the radio station back in those days was right behind us, so it wasn't a big deal. But anyway, so yeah. So I know the Powerball doesn't really interest you too much because it's
not there yet.
Not up there.
Did you get one?
I don't know. My wife usually buys them if we get them. So.
And if she gets it, you'll find a note. If you want it, you'll find a note on the counter.
Or she'll call me and hey, we won the lottery. Pack your bags and where are we going? I don't care. Just be gone by the time I get home.
Yep.
So the winning Powerball numbers for last night were 6, 15, 18, 33, 49. The Powerball was 7. The Power Play was
2 times.
Yes. No grand prize winner. Estimated grand prize was $70.8 million, or you could have opted for the $33 million in cash. That's just a mere pittance for you.
I'm not sure I could do that.
Next Powerball drawing will be Saturday with an estimated jackpot of $88 million.
88. See, we're still a little.
Yeah.
You're looking at only about a 42, 43%.
But.
Yeah.
Did you.
Mega Millions?
Yeah. Did you buy Mega Millions?
No. How much is that up to now?
825.
I should have won.
Well, it's not till tomorrow night.
Okay, I got a chance to get it tonight.
$825 million, or you could take the cash $382.2 million. Bobby says probably 150 million of that's going to the government for taxes.
Every bit of it, yeah.
Next drawing is tomorrow night at 10 p.m. So there you go. $825 million.
Tracy, I'm on my way over to I'm going to Bugsy's and buy a ticket today.
That's where I get mine. All right. Well, what else you got there?
I thought this was kind of funny, but it is and it's not. Experts, you know how they always know everything.
Yes.
Say one day we will unlock our computers by just simply thinking of our password. No typing. What good is that going to do me? I can't remember. I got to write them down now, so it doesn't matter.
Typing it's not the problem.
It's
Remembering what it is
the problem. Yeah, I can't. Yeah, exactly right. That's just nuts.
Apple has stopped working on its iPhone hardware subscription service, according to Bloomberg's Mark Gurman, citing
anonymous sources.
The project, which dates from 2022, is aimed at making iPhone ownership similar to an app with monthly fees and new phones yearly that could result in higher iPhone sales, according to Bloomberg. However, after its Apple Pay later hit regulatory scrutiny earlier this year, the company reportedly decided to pause this as well. Meanwhile, Apple facing more hurdles in Europe after the bloc's European Commission asked it to rework its iOS system so that it is more compatible with other devices. Apple, in turn, rebuked Meta for trying to gain access to key software tools on its phones.
I don't blame them. They got enough.
I know. Well,
and it's Apple's business.
I've never had an Android phone.
I've had one, and I didn't care much for it.
I had
Windows.
I had
phone?
a couple of Windows phones, and I really liked them.
I did too.
And then they
were gone.
Yeah, and then I switched over to the iPhone, and sometimes I just miss the days when I had a little Nokia bar phone.
Yeah, yep, the old flipper.
Yeah. I don't miss the days when I had the bag phone.
No, I got a hernia with it.
It was too heavy to carry around on your hip.
Yep. I had mine just laid it on a dashboard of the car.
Yeah, mine was laid. I laid it in the seat of the truck, and so.
They were heavy.
Yeah.
And the antenna was,
I had on my truck. I had a magnetic one that
on the roof.
On the roof.
Yeah, whip antenna.
I think I was trying to remember. Cybertel, I think, was the name of the company.
Yeah, I think you're right. Yeah. I had mine through AT&T.
Well, you were important.
Well, I don't know about that, but.
Well, the Fed's latest inflation projection has kind of fallen apart. Chairman Jerome Powell admitted after the central bank cut its key interest rate by a 0.25 percentage point yesterday. The Fed also lowered the number of reductions expected in 2025 to 2. They were expecting 3, but originally they had said 4, but people were saying, well, they've revised it to 3. But now they're saying this is just expected in 2025, 2 rate cuts. A significant shift and a sign that inflation could take far longer than expected to reach the 2% target.
You think?
Economists surveyed by Bloomberg now believe that won't happen until 2027, putting the Fed's focus squarely back on inflation for the foreseeable future. I thought the president told us everything was great.
He did. He said there was no inflation.
Yeah.
What are you talking about? No inflation. All right, you know some stuff. I mean, you're a pretty intelligent guy. You really are. Here's something I'll bet you didn't know.
My wife
yesterday.
says it's a lot of useless information.
Well, that's what mine is. Nobody cares about it. While you're eating dinner,
yes,
how many times do you swallow?
7.
You don't eat very much.
No. I can pack a lot in my mouth at one time.
Oh, okay. 295 times.
295. Wow, that's a lot of swallowing.
during dinner. Now, if you're eating like I do, sometimes it's probably 395.
Okay.
Because I eat more. Now, what about...
How many licks does it take to get to the center of a Tootsie Pop?
I've never got there. The thing is with this, aren't you supposed to chew it so many times? So what's this guy just eating like 3 green beans or something? Aren't you supposed to chew it like 50 times before you swallow it or some stupid thing like that? I can't remember what it is.
I don't know.
Supposed to chew it so many times.
I chew my food until I can swallow it.
Yeah.
That's it.
Well,
Corporate employees at AT&T and Sweetgreen have been told to return to their offices more frequently starting in January, according to Bloomberg. AT&T mandating 5 days a week, while the salad chain is requiring 4 days. Most workers at both companies are currently in the office about 3 days a week. AT&T hoping to avoid the space problem that's allegedly stalled Amazon's RTO push, saying it's enhancing its offices. The news comes as analysis from Revelio Labs finds that firms with mandated RTO are growing their workforces more slowly than companies that allow hybrid work.
I can understand that. That makes sense.
What about people who, like, I don't really know what Sweetgreen does. I mean, I guess you can go in there and buy a salad. I don't know. But what about the frontline workers? They can't work from home.
Nope.
It's
they don't have an option.
No, I don't know. And the U.S. Supreme Court has agreed to hear emergency arguments to save TikTok, the social media platform, and its Chinese parent company ByteDance, challenging a law that requires the app to be sold or face a U.S. ban by January 19th. TikTok and ByteDance say the sell or ban mandates violates the free speech protections of its approximately 170 million U.S. users, of which I am not one.
I am not either.
While supporters of the legislation say it upholds American national security interests, a federal appeals court unanimously upheld the law earlier this month. The High Court will hear arguments from TikTok, ByteDance, and content creators on January 10th.
I can understand both sides.
Well,
I really don't care. I mean, honestly.
So, so I saw these people, standing outside the courthouse or something holding signs that say, ByteDance, or not ByteDance, TikTok changed my life, or has done this for me, or done that. And my position on that is, if it truly is spyware, then it needs to go, no matter what. If it's not,
who cares?
Exactly.
Yeah.
And so I don't know. I mean,
they got to prove to me it's spyware. I mean, that's what they're supposed to be doing with it.
That's what I think. And if they have a legitimate reason to believe that it is, then they need to do away with it. Or
is that just their new? Those are like a balloon that flies over, or what? Now they've got drones flying all over New Jersey. Why in the world would you want to fly a drone?
Well, now that drones are popping up everywhere, I guess.
Yeah.
I don't know. I saw somewhere there's, I guess, instead of skeet shooting, now people are
drone shooting.
Well, no, not. I mean, they're going to like a trap club or something.
Oh, and they're shooting them down.
Shooting at drones. I didn't really read the story, so I don't know if the drones are like pellet proof or whether you actually destroy them when you shoot them.
Proof. Double bucks, right?
Yeah.
I don't know. It's getting out of hand. Everybody's scared of everything anymore.
Yeah. Well, Butch and Suni.
Yep.
They're the NASA astronauts, Suni Williams and Butch Wilmore. Their mission to the International Space Station on a Boeing test flight has gone from about 10 days, they were supposed to be up there, to more than 6 months, and they say now that they will have to stay on the orbiting outpost even longer. A SpaceX crew was set to bring them back in February, but the homecoming will now happen no earlier than March.
Wow.
NASA has delayed a mission carrying an ISS replacement crew, saying it needs to allow more time for SpaceX to ready a new Crew Dragon spacecraft.
We were talking about being scared. Everybody's scared of everything.
Mm-hmm.
Now, here's one here.
Okay.
Officials in Norway agreed to let a farmer leave his dilapidated barn standing.
Oh.
Because he was afraid of tearing it down. Now, why would he be afraid of tearing it down, you ask?
Okay.
Because he says there are ghosts living underneath of it. And the farmer claimed that he removed the roof once, and the ghost made him sick for weeks.
Oh.
So Norway's going to let him keep it up.
Okay. Well.
That's if you got a barn that's fallen down, and you can prove that you got ghosts living in there, well, you're good. You're golden.
Well, have you thought about using ChatGPT?
Don't even know what ChatGPT is.
Yeah, me either. But yesterday, OpenAI debuted what it's calling an easy convenient, and low-cost way to try out its Buzzy chatbot. So you can call, from your cell phone.
Yeah.
Call 800-CHAT-GPT, which is 800-242-8478, and you can test it out for about 15 minutes, free per month. They can also message the chatbot over WhatsApp. OpenAI has dropped a slew of updates during its 12 Days of OpenAI event, and earlier this week it expanded its new search features, which is meant to challenge Google. The firm is battling Anthropic, Meta, and others for dominance in generative AI, which is expected to be a $1 trillion market within a decade.
Wow. Well, what's this? I get one on, is it YouTube? There's an ad pops up?
I think Facebook.
Text it? Or free text or something like that?
Oh, I don't know. Yeah, maybe. I don't know if Facebook now has little, when you're making a post or something, it's got, AI.
Yeah, generated stuff,
Something, I don't know. And you talking about Walmart yesterday, didn't you?
Yeah, I did, yeah.
Wearing cameras or
right.
something. They're head and shoulders above brick and mortar and online competition right now. And Bloomberg reports it's on the verge of the best year since 1998.
Walmart, really?
Yeah, here are some receipts. Its stock spiked 82%, exceeding rivals Target, Amazon, and Costco. Shares in bargain retailers like Dollar Tree and Dollar General, which are expected to do well when people are looking for value, tumbled 40%.
Wow.
And Walmart has made big inroads in higher income households, with those earning at least $100,000, making up about 75% of Walmart's third quarter market share gains.
That's we're 100,000 plus.
That's
Robert doesn't know that.
A mere pittance.
Yeah. He doesn't realize those different zeros he puts on the back of my paycheck.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
You just add some.
I just add some. Yeah.
Yeah.
Nobody seems to care.
He'll never notice.
No. Want to celebrate?
Sure.
How about Holly Day?
Bring out the holly.
Yeah. Oh, very good. Yeah. I have a niece named Holly. I didn't know if maybe it was.
Oh.
How about look for an evergreen day? Getting kind of late, folks.
Does your niece get nervous when they say let's hang the holly?
Yeah, she does.
Yeah.
Look for an evergreen day. Getting kind of late to get your evergreen put in.
Mm-hmm. I used to know a guy. I don't know where he gets them now. I haven't asked him in a while, but he used to get them out of the ditch, between the highway and the service road.
Cut them out.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, when he
come out of there,
he drives home. He's like he picks one out and watches it for a couple months, and then one night.
Yep, gone. National Emo Day.
Is that like the pizza place?
I don't know. I was going to look that up. No, it's EMO.
Oh, okay.
Electronic
emo,
something or
yeah.
other. I don't know. I was going to look it up and didn't get a chance to.
No, emos.
Is it Finding Emo? That emo?
Yeah, no, it's the I forget what they're people. They're I don't know. It's a way to dress and act and things like that. What about them?
That's just whatever.
It's Emo Day.
Emo Day.
Okay.
National Hard Candy Day. Yeah, I like some hard candy.
Yeah.
Not a lot, but I like some.
I was always a butterscotch
That's
fan.
me. I'm a butterscotch guy. And I like Werther's. Hard Werther's. I like those.
I used to like the, I haven't had one in a while, but the root beer barrels.
Yeah, I haven't had them either in a while. Yeah. National Oatmeal Muffin Day.
Okay. I pretty much like anything.
Yeah, I was going to say, in muffins, I just bring it in.
Mm-hmm.
I like blueberry muffins, apple, the apple or a banana nut, whatever.
I used to eat oatmeal cream pie every morning.
Yeah,
but I still have them up there, but they're for my grandkids.
Yeah.
Yeah, she got one yesterday.
Now this one surprised me.
Mm-hmm.
Today. National Regifting Day.
Why would it surprise you?
Well, why would it be today? Why not the day after Christmas?
Because you're
regifting to Christmas and last Christmas.
Right. You look around, you're like, oh, somebody gave me that for Christmas last year, and I don't want it or didn't like it or whatever. So you wrap it up and give it. You just have to be careful to not give it back to the same person that gave it to you. Although I know me, if I gave you something and you regifted it the next year, I might not remember.
I probably wouldn't remember. There's no way I'd remember it. But that's what we can celebrate today.
All right. Well, that's good. Let's see. There will be a government shutdown on Friday.
No, there won't.
Hooray!
No, there won't.
Oh. I heard the guy this morning on the air.
They want to scare you.
Well, yeah, but, he was talking about stupid things like, if the government shuts down, you won't be able to go into the woods anymore because, all the rangers are, they'll shut off the forests, turn the light switch off.
Can't go in there no more.
Yeah, but I mean, remember when we had the government shut down and they put up fences around the monuments and stuff in Washington, D.C.?
Yep.
Why?
Yeah.
What? I don't know. We send some really, really stupid people to Washington.
Oh,
yeah.
To say the least.
I mean.
Well, the only reason they're going is to become millionaires.
Well, and you know what? I think that's probably on a lot of
It may
not
start that way.
No.
But
I
ends up
actually
that
think that probably most of them probably have altruistic. But
Sure.
I've been told by several of them who've been there that, that your most important priority when you get there is to learn how to get reelected.
Yeah.
Not, and they're like, well, I want to look at, some House bills or something. No. That'll come later.
Yeah, that's after you're established.
Anyway, if Congress doesn't pass a bill to keep the government funded, Speaker Mike Johnson, to the surprise of many on the Hill, unveiled a 1,547-page continuing resolution loaded up with many unrelated and costly provisions. No kidding?
Yeah.
It included $100 billion in disaster aid, purportedly for hurricane recovery, but likely far in excess of any actual need months after the hurricanes have passed. It would also waive some of the limitations on disaster aid based on income and proof of need, making fraud easier. It wouldn't be a true Republican spending bill if it didn't include giveaways for farmers. It had $30 billion in aid for farmers who are bracing for the impact of Donald Trump's tariffs on their export markets, and a one-year extension of the Farm Bill. It would also allow gasoline with 15% ethanol to be sold year-round in every state. The ethanol folks always get paid.
I didn't know that wasn't something anyway. They couldn't sell it in certain states all year round. I thought it was just available.
I think here in Missouri it's 10%, and I'm not sure. I mean, we have the E85 or something like that, but beats me. I don't. I just put whatever's at the pump.
Yeah.
I saw a meme on Facebook where the guy gets back in the car there at the gas station, and she tells him, she goes, "Guess what I did while you were in the convenience store?" And he goes, "What?" And she goes, "I filled up the tank." And he goes, "Oh, great." And she goes, and I used the special Christmas gas.
The green nozzle.
He goes, "What?" Yeah, she goes, "Yeah, the Christmas gas." He goes, "What is Christmas gas?" And she goes, "That's why we pulled up here, so I could use the Christmas gas and the green nozzle." And he's like, "Oh my God," Let's see. Elon Musk said, "Your elected representatives have heard you, and now the terrible bill is dead. The voice of the people has triumphed." I guess it is. So I guess they killed it. The $100 billion disaster aid stuff, all that stuff. I don't know.
Hey, I heard him say something about no more spending. They're going to stop that spending. He's going to be cut back, way back.
Well, I don't know.
They got to do something.
Yeah, and you know what? I mean, there's going to come a time. I don't know when it'll be, but there'll be a time when because I think we're paying far more on the interest on
we're never paying off the
debt.
principal. Yep.
Yeah, we've got to do something, and I don't know what it is. And Elon, he can probably count in the billions of dollars. I can't.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I get above $25 and I'm in trouble.
We are AM 1560 KTUI, Sullivan 94.1 FM. You can pick up the morning show on Facebook and on YouTube, and pick us up all day on the TuneIn app. It is 7 o'clock.
Breaking news this hour from townhall.com. I'm Jeremy House. Congressional lawmakers are scrambling after President-elect Donald Trump rejected a bipartisan stopgap measure to prevent a government shutdown.
It was already going to be a heavy lift for Republicans and Democrats to come together on a bill that would avoid a shutdown before midnight Friday, as well as provide $100 billion in disaster aid and $10 billion in economic relief for farmers. But that heavy lift got much more difficult on Wednesday when President-elect Donald Trump came out against the bill.
That's correspondent Kevin Frecking reporting. Israel's defense minister warns Yemen's Houthi rebels against attacks.
Israel's defense minister says the country would not allow the continuation of shooting from Yemen's Houthi rebels, hours after Israel launched heavy airstrikes on rebel sites. Israel Katz adds, I suggest the leaders of the Houthi organization to see, to understand and remember, whoever raises a hand against the state of Israel has a hand that will be cut off. Whoever harms us will be harmed sevenfold back. The statement follows a series of intense Israeli strikes that shook Yemen's capital and a port city, shortly after a Houthi missile targeted central Israel and badly damaged a school building. I'm Charles de Ledesma.
The suspect charged with shooting to death a health insurance company executive on a Manhattan street is attending hearings on related Pennsylvania criminal charges and efforts to extradite him to New York. Luigi Mangione faces a preliminary hearing on forgery and firearms charges and consideration of a fugitive from justice complaint. The UK central bank is keeping interest rates on hold as inflation moves further above its target rate. On Wall Street, Dow futures are up 312 points. More on these stories at townhall.com.
You know, as they say, one person's personal information is another person's treasure.
Exactly. That's why I use NordVPN every time I surf the web. Features like Threat Protection Pro's safeguard devices from phishing websites and disable intrusive ads and trackers. Just check NordVPN.com, grab the deal, and see for yourself. NordVPN. Cybersecurity built for every day.
Attention American homeowners, you're under attack. Your home and equity could be vulnerable to cyber thieves. There's only one company that completely stops them, and that company is Equity Protect. Equity Protect prevents any attempts to steal your home, equity, and ownership 24/7. Get your free risk report today by texting the word HOME to 94878. That's right, text the word HOME to 94878 to get your free risk report. Keep your equity and legacy safe with Equity Protect.
A 40-year-old man has pleaded guilty to stalking one of college basketball's top female players.
A man accused of stalking and harassing UConn basketball star Paige Beckers has pleaded guilty to a stalking charge. A court clerk said 40-year-old Robert Cole Parmalee received a 1-year suspended sentence and 3 years probation on Wednesday. He originally faced 3 charges, but those were substituted for second-degree stalking. Parmalee had an engagement ring and lingerie with him when he was first arrested in August while walking near Bradley International Airport. He told police he had just flown in from the Pacific Northwest and was on his way to see Beckers at UConn. I'm Geffen Coolbaugh.
The number of people killed and missing remains unclear 2 days after a magnitude 7.3 earthquake struck the Pacific island nation of Vanuatu. Nearly 48 hours after the tremor, the toll of 14 deaths still stands. News and analysis at townhall.com. More subway security for New Yorkers.
In New York, Governor Kathy Hochul's deploying 250 more National Guard members in New York City's subway system during the busy Christmas season. This is on top of the 750 members sent into the system in March to address a rash of violence. Hochul says cameras have now been installed on 100% of subway cars.
That's correspondent Tasha Stevens reporting. Police say the shooter who killed a student and teacher at a religious school in Wisconsin this week brought 2 guns to the school. The 15-year-old girl also was in contact with a man in California who authorities say was planning to attack a government building. Madison authorities also identified those killed as 42-year-old Erin Michelle West and 14-year-old Ruby Patricia Vergara. The new details become public in court documents and interviews with authorities. More on these stories at townhall.com.
Missouri Net News, I'm Anthony Morabith. Congress has passed Missouri Congressman Sam Graves' bill to improve the nation's waterways. The legislation is designed to enhance U.S. ports and harbors, inland waterway navigation, flood and storm protection, among other things. The fate of the bill is now in President Biden's hands. A bronze bust of former U.S. Senator Roy Blunt will join 53 others in the Hall of Famous Missourians. Blunt has spent the past 50 years serving in public office, including as Secretary of State and in Congress. He tells Missouri Net he's proud of the important national security accomplishments he was able to secure for the state.
What we were able to do with the geospatial opportunity in St. Louis was a big thing, I think, and has big potential for a Missouri economy.
A Missouri lottery player is $3 million richer after winning the top prize in a scratcher's ticket at a Kansas City grocery store. Now that they've won, the first thing on their to-do list is retirement, according to a press release. This is Missouri Net.
Beef memories from holidays past.
Put your phones down. Favorite beef memories. Go.
Ooh, last year's smash burgers on the outdoor griddle.
How about the year it was so cold outside, but Dad smoked that brisket to perfection?
Oh, and remember the year Dad made that beef tenderloin?
And let's not forget that pistachio-crusted rib roast.
I was on my game that year.
Make this holiday season unforgettable. Visit beefitswhatsfordinner.com for tasty recipes and tips. Brought to you by Missouri's Beef Farmers and Ranchers.
Some reminders on being winter ready from fellow truck and semi drivers.
You need to allow yourself a little more time in the morning. Try to plan ahead.
I make sure and check the weather forecast. Make sure I have a full tank of fuel, water, a phone, and a charger.
Reduce your speed and you increase your following distance.
Better to be late than end up in a ditch somewhere.
You're a professional driver. You make the call. You know when it's time to get off the road. Don't push it.
Safety's first.
Brought to you by Missouri Coalition for Roadway Safety.
Whether you love them or can't stand them, surprises are a part of life. Hi, I'm Donnie Greenwald, your Sullivan Edward Jones financial advisor, and I can help get you ready for whatever life throws at you, even the welcome surprises. As your needs change, we can change what you need to do to help you end up where you want to be. And while there is never a good time to experience unexpected costs, we can work together to help make them feel a little less unexpected. Call me at 573-468-6046 or visit edwardjones.com to get started today. Edward Jones, member SIPC.
For the last couple years, my company, Level 9 Heating and Cooling, has been telling you that when it comes to your HVAC system, you've got a guy. I want you to know that in this area, I'm that guy. My name is Ben Pence, and I'm the Level 9 Sales Manager. Level 9 is committed to making sure your heating and cooling system runs at peak efficiency, both to save you money on your monthly bills and to extend the life of your system. I also want to let you know that we now offer plumbing services with a master plumber and a journeyman plumber licensed in St. Louis County, and the surrounding areas. I'm also excited to offer the preventive maintenance program for just $25 a month. We come and check your plumbing each year and your HVAC system in the spring and the fall. Preventative maintenance members also get discounts on parts and services. Level 9 Heating and Cooling is a proud premier Lennox dealer, but we service all brands. You can contact me at 636-239-3581. Remember that when it comes to heating, cooling, and now plumbing, I'm your guy.
Another suspect's been charged in the shooting death of CBC High School hockey player Colin Brown. 28-year-old Donovan Bocom has been charged with first-degree murder, first-degree assault, unlawful use of a weapon, and 3 counts of armed criminal action. St. Louis police say Bocom was arrested on Tuesday. Homicide detectives met with the circuit attorney's office yesterday morning, and charges were filed shortly afterward. A judge denied bond for Bocom. Yesterday's announcement comes less than a week after Garrett Jordan III was charged with first-degree murder, first-degree assault, unlawful use of a weapon, and 3 counts of armed criminal action in the fatal shooting. A probable cause statement against Bocom claims he admitted to driving an Audi during the shooting. A witness told police the vehicle was hers and that she gave the vehicle to Bocom the day of the murder, the statement alleges. A search warrant was obtained for Bocom's phone data, which police allege places him with Jordan throughout the day leading up to the killing. Police also allege Bocom told them in an interview that Jordan fired gunshots with a rifle during the incident. Several others have been charged with drug distribution and other crimes after a search warrant was served at a house on Chippewa Street in connection with the homicide investigation. A man from Washington was injured in an accident in St. Charles County at 6:14 yesterday morning on southbound US 61 at Route W. The 34-year-old man was driving a 2020 Chevrolet Colorado and was crossing US 61 from Route W and failed to yield to oncoming traffic. A 35-year-old man from Moscow Mills was driving a 2018 Chevrolet Malibu and struck the side of the Chevy Colorado. Both vehicles traveled off the roadway. The Colorado caught fire. Both men had minor injuries. They were transported by St. Charles County Ambulance District to SSM Health St. Joseph Hospital, Lake St. Louis. 34-year-old Louis C. Kloppel of Washington was charged with driving while intoxicated. He was later released from SSM Health St. Joseph Hospital in Lake St. Louis. The Highway Patrol made an arrest in St. Charles County at 8:22 a.m. yesterday. 35-year-old Kayla L. Dunn of Union arrested on Wentzville Police Department warrant for failure to register a vehicle and Lake St. Louis Police Department for failure to register a vehicle. She was taken to the St. Charles County Department of Corrections and was bondable. At 3:50 a.m. yesterday in Franklin County, 44-year-old Brian A. Miller of St. Clair arrested on a patrol charge of possession of a controlled substance, methamphetamine, a half gram. Franklin County driving while suspended. Eureka Police Department operating a vehicle while intoxicated. He was taken to the Franklin County Adult Detention Facility and was bondable. Investigators looking into the fire that gutted an antique shop in downtown Herman in November said the cause of the fire is undetermined, according to a report from the Missouri State Fire Marshal. The fire on November 11th destroyed the antique shop on the first floor and a bed and breakfast on the second floor. No one was injured, but the building was declared a total loss, and demolition crews have been taking the remains down ever since. In the fire marshal's report, the investigating team classified the cause of the fire as undetermined. They were able to rule out gas or electricity as possible causes, but said that there was insufficient evidence to identify a source for the ignition, making it impossible to determine how it started. During the month of January, Missouri Department of Conservation staff from the Howard Wood Urban Outreach Office in St. Louis City will lead a series of Hiking 101 virtual programs. Each program will take place from noon till 1 p.m. on successive Fridays during the month. They will introduce participants to essential hiking skills and gear, safety tips, and insights into beginner-friendly trails in the St. Louis region. All programs are free and open to all ages. However, online registration at mdc.mo.gov is required to participate. Participants can register for any or all of the programs. However, each participant must register in advance separately and provide a valid email address to receive an online meeting link. Login instructions will be provided by email beforehand. These virtual programs will be held via WebEx. The conservation also reminding area duck and goose hunters that the fall-winter migration is now in full swing and all waterfowl seasons are currently open. As colder weather continues to roll in, new birds are arriving in the St. Louis area. The St. Louis region sits in the Mississippi Flyway, which accounts for 40 to 50% of the country's annual duck harvest and 30 to 40% of the country's goose harvest. The conservation currently has two intensively managed waterfowl hunting areas in the St. Louis region. They are Marais Temps Claire in St. Charles County and B.K. Leach in Lincoln County. Waterfowl population and harvest information about these two conservation areas can be found by calling the waterfowl hotline at 573-898-5905. Duck hunting in Missouri is split into three separate zones with different start and end dates for each zone. The St. Louis region has areas in both the north and middle zones. The last day of season for the north zone is December 31st. The last day of the season for the middle zone is January 5th. Goose season started on November 11th and runs through February 6th, and the light goose conservation order begins February 7th and runs through April 30th. During regular goose season, hunters may harvest Canada, Brant, greater white-fronted geese, and light geese, snow, blue, and Rosses. The Missouri State Highway Patrol would like to remind you, driver examination stations throughout the state will be closed on Tuesday, December 24th at noon, and Wednesday, December 25th all day in observance of Christmas. Normal operations will resume on Thursday, December 26th. They will also be closed on Wednesday, January 1st in observance of New Year's Day. Normal operations will resume on Thursday, January 2nd. And your Franklin County Clerk, Tim Baker, wants you to know that the Franklin County Government Center, Historic Courthouse, Highway Department, and the Franklin County Health Department will all be closed on Tuesday, December 24th and Wednesday, December 25th in observance of the Christmas holiday. The Franklin County Judicial Center will remain open on Tuesday, December 24th, but be closed on Wednesday, December 25th. And then on Wednesday, January 1st, the Franklin County Government Center, Historic Courthouse, Judicial Center, Highway Department, and the Health Department will all be closed in observance of the New Year's Day holiday. The Franklin County Sheriff's Department remains open as they are 24 hours a day, each and every day. That is a look at your local news on a Thursday. I'm Sam Scott.
New Testament Baptist Church in Sullivan is starting a new addiction recovery ministry called Life Issues. It's a biblical approach to the 12 steps, bringing scriptural principles into personal focus and making them come alive for transformational living. Whether you struggle with addictions, food, depression, anxiety, or relationships, you'll be encouraged to see how others have found a new way of life with hope for the future through this program. Life Issues will meet weekly on Thursdays at 6:30 p.m. at New Testament Baptist Church. You're not alone. To find out more, contact New Testament Baptist Church at 573-468-3334.
If you or a loved one are a Medicaid or MoHealthNet participant, don't wait for the care that you need. Whether you need to see a primary care doctor, dentist, or mental health professional, Compass Health Network is here to serve you. We specialize in making sure that our clients get the expert care they deserve as quickly as possible. Don't put your health on hold any longer. Call 844-853-8937 to schedule an appointment today. Compass Health Network, because you matter.
Funeral notices are brought to you by the Eaton Funeral Homes of Sullivan and Bourbon. The symbol of the Eaton name reflects consideration and competence. Also quiet, unobtrusive friendliness and service without restraint. There is never a reason to settle for less than an Eaton service, particularly because it costs no more and very often less than appearances may lead you to believe. For help in the greatest time of need, call the Eaton Funeral Homes in Sullivan or Bourbon. 468-4147, a family tradition in service since 1948.
In recent funeral notices, Mary Alice Monda of Sullivan passed away Sunday, December 15th at the age of 90. Survived by two sons, Walter Monda and wife Susan of Anderson, Indiana, and Carl Monda and wife Crystal of Leesburg. 6 grandchildren, 4 great-grandchildren, numerous nieces, nephews, other relatives, and many friends. Funeral services will be held at noon today at the Eaton Funeral Home in Sullivan. Burial will be in the Kinder Cemetery in Cuba. Visitation will be from 11 o'clock this morning until the time of services at noon at the Eaton Funeral Home. Memorial contributions may be given to the Alzheimer's Association in the name of Mary Alice Monda. Anthony Albert Al Dildine of Cuba passed away Tuesday, December 17th at the age of 53. Survived by his wife Laura, his children Ashley and husband Andy Simpson, Brittany Dildine, Courtney and husband Jacob Bridges, Anthony Dildine II, all of Cuba, Stephen and wife Megan Dildine of Prattville, Alabama, and Stephen and wife Ariana Dildine of St. Charles. Siblings Teresa and husband Paul Teskey of Indiana, James Dildine of Florida, Bobby Dildine of Cuba, Richard and wife Libby Dildine of Florida, Polly and husband Joey Daniels of Florida, Andrew and wife Michelle Dildine of Steelville, and Joe Dildine of Noblesville, Indiana. 15 grandchildren, nieces, nephews, cousins, other relatives, and many friends. Visitation will be from 5 until 7 p.m. this evening at the Hudson Funeral Home in Cuba. A funeral service will immediately follow. Following Al's wishes, the family has chosen cremation as his final disposition. Glenda R. Bird of Leesburg passed away Saturday, December 14th at the age of 72, survived by 2 children, Michelle Hatton of Leesburg and Justin Bird and wife Brandy of Bourbon. 4 siblings, Richard and Terry Terrell of Sabetha, Kansas, Stella and J.B. Heyman of Cleo Springs, Oklahoma, Sean and Lucinda Terrell of Smithville, and Shane and Julie Terrell of Alva, Oklahoma. 2 grandsons, a host of cousins, nieces, nephews, other relatives, and many friends. A graveside service and interment will be held Friday at 11 a.m. at the Lee Cemetery in Leesburg. In lieu of flowers,
Memorial contributions may be made to the Lee Cemetery in the name of Glenda Bird. All arrangements are under the direction of the Mizell Funeral Home of Cuba. Kathy Jane Giesler, née Davis of St. Clair, passed away Friday, December 13th at the age of 74. Survived by her husband Gary, 4 sons, Michael McCormick and wife Tina of Washington, Stephen McCormick of Spring, Texas, Patrick McCormick of Union, and Jeffrey McCormick of Springfield. A daughter, Tricia McCormick of Melbourne, Australia, 10 stepchildren, 1 brother, 1 sister, many grandchildren. A celebration of life will be held at 1 p.m. Friday at the Franklin County Baptist Center at 785 Butterfield Drive in Union. Private committal will be held at a later date. Memorials may be made to the Franklin County Humane Society in the name of Kathy Giesler. All arrangements under the direction of the Russell Colonial Funeral Home of St. Clair. Bradley Ryan Seago of Sullivan passed away Sunday, December 15th in St. Louis at the age of 48. Survived by his parents, Donald and wife Sheila Seago of Sullivan, and Janet Hopkins, and husband Flavio Rovertoni of Columbia, Illinois. A sister, Kimberly Seago, and husband Mike Pyrick of Cedar Hill. Step-siblings Shauna Terry of Bland, Alicia, and husband Andrew Gebhardt of St. Charles. Flavio Jr. and wife Catherine Rovertoni of Milwaukee, Wisconsin, and Anthony Rovertoni of Deloge. Aunts, uncles, many special nieces and nephews, special cousins and friends. Funeral services will be held Saturday at 11 a.m. at the Hudson Funeral Home in Steelville. Burial will be in the Barnacle Chapel Cemetery in Steelville. Visitation will be Friday from 6 until 8 p.m. at the Hudson Funeral Home in Steelville. Memorials may be given to the American Cancer Society in the name of Bradley Seago. Funeral notices are brought to you by the Eaton Funeral Homes of Sullivan and Burbank.
Hi, this is Dale Cottrell, Chief Credit Officer at Sullivan Bank, where we are committed to being a step up in service. Our goal is to put the community back in community banking. We are incredibly grateful to be a part of the KTUI communities and strive to make them a better place for future generations. We've been here for you 129 years and plan to be here for many more. Stop by Sullivan Bank today to experience the step up in service for yourself.
The season of savings has arrived at Seidenstricker Nobe Partners with our Compact Wonderland sale. Right now, get a John Deere Compact Tractor Package starting as low as $229 a month with 0 down. Plus, save $3,700 off the manufacturer's sticker price. All compact tractors come with our S&P 10-year guarantee. Visit us online at snpartners.com. Seidenstricker Nobe, your partner for the land.
Offer valid through 2/3/2025. Some restrictions apply. See dealer for details.
Looking at sports on this Thursday from the Sullivan Bank studios of KTUI Radio, this is Bobby D. The St. Louis Blues president of hockey operations and general manager Doug Armstrong announced yesterday the team has traded defenseman P.O. Joseph to the Pittsburgh Penguins in exchange for future considerations. The 25-year-old Joseph was originally signed by the Blues as a free agent on July 3rd of 2024. This season he has appeared in 23 games, logging 2 assists and 23 penalty minutes. The Blues are headed to the Sunshine State to begin a 3-game pre-holiday road trip against the Tampa Bay Lightning tonight, which will be the two teams' final matchup this season. The Blues are coming off a 4-1 loss to the New Jersey Devils and split the season series 1-1. After facing the Lightning tonight, the Blues will take on the reigning Stanley Cup champions, the Florida Panthers, on Friday. Pre-game coverage tonight begins at 5:30, puck drop at 7:10. You'll hear it on KTUI 102.1 FM. 3 University of Missouri volleyball student athletes were named 2024 American Volleyball Coaches Association All-Americans. Graduate outside hitter Michelle Vernon was tabbed as an AVCA third-team All-American, while senior right-side hitter Jordan Iliff and junior libero Maya Sands were named honorable mention All-Americans. Missouri linebacker Chuck Hicks has announced he is opting out of the Music City Bowl against Iowa December 30th. The senior captain joins wide receiver Luther Burden III and right tackle Armand Membo in opting out. Burden and Membo had opted out after declaring for the NFL draft. Hicks explained on X yesterday that he's opting out of the game to spend time with his wife and children over the holiday season. Sophomore tight end Brett Norfleet will also miss the final game of the season after undergoing knee surgery shortly after the regular season finale against Arkansas on November 30th. Missouri bolstered its offense for next season on Wednesday night when former Louisiana Monroe running back Ahmad Hardy announced his commitment to the Tigers. Hardy joins former Mississippi State wide receiver Kevin Coleman Jr. as MU's second offensive transfer committed this cycle. Hardy was one of the best true freshman running backs in the country this season, tallying 1,351 rushing yards with 13 touchdowns. He was the number 4 running back and number 55 player overall in the portal, according to 24/7 Sports. He will have 3 years of eligibility remaining. College scoreboard from Wednesday. Missouri women's basketball saw their winning streak end at 5, falling to Oral Roberts 76-63 Wednesday night at Mizzou Arena. Senior forward Lania Randall led the Tigers with a season-high 21 points. Junior guard Ashton Judd added 18. Brooklyn Gray scored all 14 of her points in the second half to lead St. Louis to a 69-59 win over Valparaiso. Peyton Kennedy led the way for St. Louis with 15. Maya Bergstrom also had 14. Tierra Simon had a double-double with 12 points and 14 rebounds. Out in the event in Hawaii, it was Fontbonne losing to Edgewood last night 69-59. Men's basketball, Isaiah Swope led 3 St. Louis University players in double figures with 19, but Wofford held on for a 74-71 victory over the Billikens last night at Chaifetz Arena. Robbie Avila had 16. Kobe Johnson tossed in a season-high 12 points. Missouri State collected a game-high 15 from junior Michael Osei-Bonsu to turn back visiting Lincoln University 61-59 Wednesday at Great Southern Bank Arena. Vincent Brady II, Zaxton King, and Chase Martin added 10 points apiece. College wrestling from last night, the fire duels down in Lakeland, Florida. It was Central Methodist losing to Southeastern University 46-3. Cooper Deckard, a freshman from Washington, wrestled an exhibition match for Central Methodist, losing by decision at 133 pounds. Central Methodist beat Cornerstone 32-22 and Oklahoma City 38-18 in those duels. Ohio University dominated Bloomsburg last night 45-0. Ryan Meek from St. Clair won his match by forfeit at 125 pounds. College schedule today for women's basketball: Blackburn at Columbia College at noon, Harris Stowe at Missouri S&T at 11, Truman State at Fort Hays State out in Hawaii at 12 noon our time today, Evangel at Warner University, Florida at 3 o'clock, SIU Edwardsville Little Rock at 5, Westminster Illinois Tech at 5 o'clock. Men's basketball, Missouri S&T playing out in Las Vegas. They'll take on St. Mary's, Texas at 11:30. St. Louis Community College at Spoon River College at 6 o'clock tonight. High school scoreboard from Wednesday night. The games we did on 102.1 FM at the People's Bank Holiday Classic. Steelville defeating Miller Career Academy 72-40. Sullivan over Salem 58-25 in consolation bracket play. The Lady Eagles featured balanced scoring up and down the lineup last night. The championship bracket semifinals, St. James held off St. Francis Borgia 49-43, and the Owensville Dutch girls hit their free throws down the stretch to beat St. Pius X out of Festus 50-36. At the Orchard Farm Tournament, Duchesne over Cuba 55-39 in pool play. Other games, it was Fort Zumwalt West hitting a shot at the buzzer to beat Union 49-46 in varsity. Zumwalt West took the JV game 25-22. St. James JV girls tournament last night. Sullivan gets consolation over Owensville 35-25. Rolla beats St. Clair 35-24 for third place. They didn't send me a score on the championship game between St. James and Fatima. Boys basketball, New Haven getting by Bourbon last night 54-50 in varsity, and New Haven won the JV game 38-28. At the Lynn Boys Holiday Tournament last night, a consolation semifinal, Bell defeating Lynn 56-38. It was Fort Zumwalt North over Washington 61-51 in a freshman boys game last night. Middle school basketball from yesterday. In the afternoon game, it was St. James 8th graders defeating Owensville 54-23. Owensville won the 7th grade game 35-32. Washington Middle School taking both games from North Point 41-34 in 8th grade, 29-28 in 7th grade. High school wrestling, St. Clair boys defeating Union 59-17. St. Clair girls over Union 54-18. Washington boys lost to Fort Zumwalt South 34-31. Washington girls picking up a 47-30 win over Fort Zumwalt South in a dual meet last night. Girls basketball scheduled for today. New Haven will be at Pacific at 5:30. Cardinal Ritter at Union at 5. St. James at Sullivan for a freshman game. It'll be a freshman girls and boys doubleheader. Girls play at 5:30. Marquette at Borgia, a freshman game at 5:30. And Bell at Bourbon is JV and varsity at 5:30. That game was originally scheduled for Wednesday and moved to tonight. The Cuba Lady Wildcats will be playing for third place at the Orchard Farm Girls Tournament tonight at 5:30. Final round games at the People's Bank Holiday Classic on Friday. The 7th place game will be at 2 o'clock with Miller Career Academy taking on Salem. Steelville and Sullivan meet for consolation at 3:30. Third place game is Borgia and St. Pius X at 5 o'clock. Championship is St. James and Owensville at 6:30. We'll broadcast the consolation game between Steelville and Sullivan and the championship game between St. James and Owensville. Boys basketball tonight's schedule: California at Owensville, freshman JV and varsity starting at 5. Herculaneum at St. Clair, JV and varsity at 5:30. And we mentioned St. James and Sullivan, freshman girls and boys. The boys will play at about 6:45. Sullivan Eagle boys basketball will play Lynn 4 o'clock on Friday for the 7th place game at the Lynn Holiday Tournament. Middle school boys basketball tonight: Pacific at Herman, St. James at Rollo, Union at Washington, all 5:30 starts. Lynn at New Haven gets underway at 6. High school wrestling: Sullivan and Owensville will be at Potosi for a boys and girls tri-meet at 5 o'clock. DeSmet and Windsor at Union, boys and girls tri-meet at 5. And the Central Park Hills JV boys scramble at 5 o'clock night. St. Clair will be participating. Middle school wrestling on tap tonight: Sullivan and Potosi will be at St. Clair, boys and girls tri-meet at 5. Steelville's at St. James at 5 o'clock. Union, North County, and Warrenton are at Washington for a quad meet at 5 this evening. Sports on the air: Blues hockey tonight on the road in Tampa Bay against the Lightning. Pregame at 5:30. Puck drop at 6:10. You'll hear it on 102.1 KTUI FM. That's your look at sports on this Thursday from the Sullivan Bank Studios of KTUI Radio. Have a great day, everybody. This is Bobby D.
Thank you, Bobby. It is about 28 minutes in front of 9 o'clock here at the studios of KTUI. And in 32 degrees here at the studios, 32 degrees out at the Sullivan Regional Airport. With me this morning, I got a couple of guys from the Franklin County Sheriff's Office. They are Detective Sergeant Brett Hill and Detective James O'Fallon. And Detective O'Fallon's been in here before. And welcome, guys. How are you today?
Good. Doing good, thank you.
All right, so both of you are attached to the computer labs. Is that what they're?
We're the cybercrime unit.
Cybercrime unit. There we go. All right, and so I've talked to you guys about this before on the air, and primarily it's crimes against children. You guys,
Yes, sir.
you guys are the ones that try to figure out. I've heard several stories. You guys try to get into the computers and things that you find sometimes. And sometimes, these are not just guys that are sitting at home downloading porn or whatever. Sometimes there's some fairly elaborate setups, aren't there?
For sure, yeah. We run into all kinds of electronics. Fortunately, we haven't run into any big servers and stuff yet, but multiple computers, multiple electronic devices, phones, tablets, all that kind of stuff. We never quite know what we're going to get into when we serve a search warrant. So.
And so you guys are in the new building now, and I guess you have, the sheriff. When I was there, before it was all opened up yet, there was a room that the sheriff said that he didn't even have access to, and said he did. The room. Yeah. Said he did not want access to it. Yeah. But this is, I don't know. It seems like a sad thing to me that you guys have to do what you do, but I'm glad that you do. And so what do you want to talk about today?
So we're here to talk just a little bit about internet safety, safely shopping online for the holidays, just to try to keep everybody secure, and hopefully not falling prey to any sort of scams or anything like that online, because we know how common those are nowadays. So
one of the things you mentioned, I saw that the sheriff's department might have been involved with like a skimming device on a gas pump in St. Clair the other day. I mean, does this fall in your purview there?
So it can.
Yeah.
We typically have not run into a lot of that in the county just yet.
Mm-hmm.
I'm sure it will become a larger issue in the future. We were trying to assist St. Clair as much as possible, but I think they kind of got it figured out. So, but yeah, it's any way somebody can try to scam somebody out of something that they're going to try to, they're going to get it done one way or another. So
yeah, since we do most of the forensics for the entire county, a lot of times we'll have some of the municipalities call us to ask us, what do we do with this thing, So
Yeah, I don't remember. It might have been you that when I was taking the Citizens Academy class, I don't remember. Maybe it was somebody else, but they said that somebody called and said, we found this big computer set up, and we don't know what to do. And he said, don't turn it off.
Yes. Yeah, there's some very strict criteria that you need to follow when you're handling certain electronics to try to preserve that data on there, because that data is what will ultimately analyze to try to locate a suspect or figure out how somebody was taken advantage of, things like that. So if that data is not preserved properly, it can jeopardize the whole case potentially.
So are these people, are some of them like smart enough to put some kind of encryption on it
Absolutely.
or something?
Oh,
really?
yeah.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
I mean,
it's more and more common every day.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
So how do you guys get? I don't want you to give
Well,
away
we can't talk
state
about that.
secrets. Or whatever.
Yeah, no, I mean there are tools and tricks, things that we can do to try to backdoor some of that, and it's a constant battle back and forth between the various technology companies, the computers, phone companies, things like that, and the tools that we use. It's basically a cat and mouse. Like somebody will design something that prevents us from doing something, the tools will find a workaround for it, and it's back and forth constantly. So
phones are little computers now, aren't they?
Absolutely.
And
Big computers, to be honest with you. Yeah, with the as much data they can store nowadays, it's computer at the end of your arm.
And that's what I tell people. The thing you carry around in your pocket or whatever has more computing power than some of the spaceships that we sent to the moon and things like that.
Absolutely.
So those are things. And so can you get help from the companies or something like if it's an Apple? Will Apple help you, or
No.
You're on your own? Huh?
Yeah, we're pretty much on our own. Like I said, we do have tools that we can use that facilitate the extraction of the data, and the various other tools that we use to help process that to put it in a user-friendly format, so to speak. All data is stored in binary, ones and zeros, and although I can, with some time, read that, it's not fun to do.
No, it is not.
So we'll use the tools to try to put it, like I said, in a user-friendly format so that we can easily and expediently interpret that into, whatever that be for that particular case.
So what are common scams that are going around right now that people are falling for?
Sure. We see a lot of phishing scams, emails particularly. Someone will get an email that they'll click on a link or something like that, and they'll have virus scanners software or virus software pop up on their computer asking for a green dot card or Bitcoin or whatever it may be, and people feel like they have to pay that to get their computer back, which they don't. Another one we commonly see are fake websites, and actually my wife fell victim to one of these, or at least we thought we did initially. My son wanted a jersey and found a place that they were selling it online, and it was extremely cheap. And I told him, I said, hey, this is kind of one of those situations where it looks too good to be true, so it probably is. But they wanted to take the chance on it because it was such a good price, and it was probably 3 months before we actually got the jersey. And the whole time I'm telling them, you guys are just out that money. But sure enough, it did come in. But we see a lot of other situations where people don't get the actual product that they purchased, or maybe have some additional fraudulent charges on their account. Which obviously this time of year, everybody's buying a lot of gifts. A lot of people are strapped for cash, but you plan that stuff out. And when you have some of these unexpected charges, that can leave you kind of high and dry. And we want to try to avoid that as much as possible. So
yeah, and a big one is making sure that people, check the background of people on things like Facebook, because you'll have these people that pop up and say that they're Bitcoin traders, stock investment types, and people don't look in the background, realize they've got one photo and 0 friends, and things like that, and they get to talking with them and end up buying Bitcoin, sending it through them to invest, and then it's just gone. I mean, we've seen people taken for over $100,000. So that's a definitely dangerous game. Another big one that we see is a lot of times they used to prey on the elderly. Make the phone call. You won something. Give us your banking information. We'll send you the information or money. But a lot of times now they prey on the younger people, children, because let's be honest, our entire lives are online now. So these kids, they will act like, a lot of times it's young boys, but they will act like a female, and it's called sextortion. And what they'll do is they'll send nude photos to young men, asking for nude photos back from them, and then once the young men send those nude photos back, they start extorting them, saying, if you don't go and get prepaid cards and give us this money, then we'll send this to your family, friends, relatives, send out these nude photos that you sent to us. So that's another big one about just making sure you're safe online and you're not sending things like that.
But I can keep you guys from coming and arresting me if I send you $100 Dollar General gift card, right?
Right.
Yeah, we get a lot of the phone scams too, where somebody will call somebody up and say, "Hey, you've got a warrant for your arrest, and you need to get us a green dot card or a prepaid card, whatever it may be, or send us so much Bitcoin, or we're going to come arrest you." Just for the record, so everybody knows, we do not do business that way.
Happen. Right.
We are not going to call you and say, "Hey, you have a warrant." Typically, we're definitely not going to ask for money, in lieu of the warrant, things like that. So, like I said, if something sounds fishy or sounds too good to be true, there's a good chance that it is.
Sure. And one thing you can do is just say, tell the company or whoever you're talking to on the phone, okay, well, I'll check into that, get off the phone with them, look the company up online. If it is a legitimate company that they're using as their backstory, call that company directly. Like if it's the bank, get off the phone with them, find the number for your bank, call the bank, talk to them. Is this actually going on? Is this happening? A lot of times that can stop that before it starts, because you talk to your bank and they're like, we don't know what you're talking about. And then you can find pretty quickly that that's a scam.
So, I remember when I went through the Citizens Academy class that like child pornography pictures basically have a digital thumbprint on them. And so my question is now that we're getting into AI, is that helping at all? Or is that making things worse? Or
it's kind of twofold. There's some AI incorporations into our tools that can assist with searching for certain things. On the flip side, there's also a lot of AI-generated pornography, and that's kind of a untested ground, so to speak, as far as the courts are concerned, how they're exactly going to handle that yet. We have a certain category when we're categorizing pictures and videos that stuff goes into, and then it's kind of up to the courts how they're going to handle that and how they're going to look at it. And there hasn't been any hard, set, fast rules already. So, like I said, it's still a lot of gray area. Technology is constantly changing, so it's very fluid. What may be a thing today may not be a thing, next week, just due to how rapidly that all changes.
So what is the most common way for you guys to be alerted that someone may be doing something that's not right?
Yeah, so we typically receive a cyber tip from any electronic service provider like Facebook, Google, any of that, or internet service providers who notice some images or videos online. Typically, especially like with Facebook or Google, some of the bigger companies, they run algorithms with the digital footprint or digital fingerprints that you were talking about. Those are called hash values, and they run mathematical algorithms against any video or photo that's uploaded to their sites.
Or downloaded, saved, shared.
And any of that matches any of those known hash values for known child pornography causes a red flag. And then they'll have an employee that goes in and reviews that and then generates a cyber tip. That cyber tip is then submitted to the National Center for Missing and Exploited Children, who review the cyber tip, make sure everything's legitimate on it, make sure it has all the paperwork and information that it needs. And they also assist with determining, okay, what agency does this need to go to? St. Charles County Sheriff's Office is the state agency that handles all the incoming cyber tips. And from there, they kind of do a second evaluation to try to figure out what local agency that needs to go to. So that's where we get ours from, is directly from St. Charles County. And then that then goes to our investigators, who then look at certain information, IP addresses, telephone numbers, names, email addresses, those sort of thing, and then try to determine who our suspect is and where they reside. So,
all right, guys. Anything else that I know you guys brought some stuff to talk about?
Yeah, we just want to cover some general internet safety tips.
Okay.
Some internet safety tips for children as well. Excuse me, and then just some online shopping tips. So one of the biggest ones is just to avoid sharing sensitive details like your address, phone number, credit card numbers, bank account numbers, that kind of stuff online. I know if you ask your bank, they're going to tell you the same thing, but they're never going to call you up and ask for your account number. They're never going to call you up and ask for your internet banking password. Anybody that does is not legitimate. law enforcement's never going to ask for it. Credit card companies, bank account companies are never going to ask for it.
What about my friends on Facebook that want to know what my first car was and my mother's maiden name?
Right.
Should I fill out all that stuff?
No.
Not a good idea.
That should be a clue. Nobody should be asking what the answers to your security questions are. So, but yeah.
Then we think about your choice and friends at the same time there.
Yeah, in the Detective Bureau, we call that a clue. That's
I think I saw the other day that a lot of my friends are on Santa's naughty list. So.
Yeah. The other big thing is, just as far as protecting your personal information, is use the privacy settings on social media. Like Facebook, I'll pick on, especially because for people our age, I know younger kids like Snapchat and things like that. But every one of these social media sites or social media applications have certain privacy settings that you can activate. And I strongly encourage everybody to do that. I love sharing things on Facebook with my friends and family. I have my friends' kids like being on Snapchat because they're constantly talking to their friends and things like that. But none of us need all our information going out to everybody, you know. So I strongly encourage people to use those privacy settings, limit that information to the people that need to see it, and just be smart. Be smart about what you post. Don't be posting, hey, my entire family is going to be in Florida for holiday for the next 2 weeks. That's just a open invitation, basically, saying,
Right.
hey, nobody's going to be home. Do what you will.
And when it comes to kids, too, and the parents out there who are listening, you know, kids nowadays, like I said, electronics are a huge part of their life, and that's just the way it is. But they need to understand, too, that what they post is out there forever. And a lot of times you don't think about, especially our young children, don't think about the things that they're posting that maybe even in just a photo. You know, they take a photo of the front, them standing out in front of their house, and it has their address on a mailbox, or wearing their school shirt. So it shows maybe some predator out there exactly what school they go to. You know, things like that. It's just be careful what's in your photos and what you're posting.
All right.
We also suggest strong, and I know this is out there everywhere, pretty much anywhere you create a passwords now is going to suggest it, but use strong, unique passwords for each individual website, and it's so much easier to use. I'm from Washington, so I'm going to put Blue Jays 2024, you know, as a password, and just use that for everything.
Mm-hmm.
But if you crack one of those passwords, you're going to have my Google password, you're going to have my Facebook password, you're going to have, you know, everything that is my online presence. So use strong individualized passwords. Enable two-factor authentication, and to me that is huge. Two-factor authentication is super easy to use, and what that is typically, I mean, a lot of people have probably already encountered it, but if you enter your password, they will then want a second form of verification.
Send you a text message
exactly.
or an email.
Or there's some two-factor authentication applications you can add on your phone. But that is just a double layer of security, and unless somebody has your physical device and can receive that code, they can't log into your account. So just steps like that really help secure everything. We talked about recognizing scams a little bit, but like be cautious of phishing emails or fake emails. Basically, if it's not an email you're expecting, don't click on the link or don't download the file. We get a lot of that in our office. A couple people have had their, our office emails hacked. And basically, it just goes back to common sense rules. If you're not expecting it, don't open. Right. I got called to one of our command staff's offices a couple weeks ago, and it's like, hey, does this look suspicious to you? And I'm like, are you expecting it? And they said, no, we've never got a email like this from this person at all. And it was another law enforcement officer, as a matter of fact. And I said, then don't click on it. I said, simply pick up the phone and say, hey, did you send this to me? Because they had the person's phone number. And turns out that person did not send it to the person in our office.
What about that Saudi prince that wants to send me $1 million?
Yeah, I mean, I'd almost take a chance on that one just in case. No.
And this one kind of goes to the shopping advice as well, but verify websites and centers before you click on anything. There are a lot of fake websites out there.
Absolutely.
So just verify that stuff. And again, avoid giving out any personal information to unknown sources. But as far as internet safety for kids, and this is one that's particularly important to us because it's what we deal with on a day in, day out basis. And I can't stress this enough. Use parental controls on your children's devices. Monitor their activity. Kids are kids. We know they're knuckleheads. They're going to make bad choices. That's part of being a kid.
Yeah. And just be honest with them about it as well. I mean, that's how I do. That's how I do it with my son. He knows that, I'm going to be checking on him from time to time, but I'm honest with him about it. So it kind of takes down that wall of, oh, my dad's, doing something nefarious and won't let me live my own life, or, things like that, because we talk about it, we discuss it. It's got to be tough to have a dad that does this for a living, when you want to be on electronics. So, but yeah, just be open, just be honest with them about it, make sure they know, that it's for their safety. And like he said, they're knuckleheads, they're not going to understand it every time, but the more honest you can be with them about it, it kind of eases that tension.
And I definitely don't encourage, because I know some parents are like, well, I'm not letting my kid have a phone until they're 25, or whatever it may be. I don't encourage that. It's part of today's world. It's just where we're at. And the more kids understand it, accept it, and know how to operate on it without getting in trouble, the better off they're going to be. But that said, they're kids. So there are some applications that parents can use to try to help ensure that they're acting safely, or at least help monitor that. There's Screen Time, which is really popular on Apple phones. There's Google Family Link, which is more for Android phones. There's Bark, Custodio, Net Nanny, just to name a few, but there's a lot of these apps out there. Some of them have some free services. Some of them require payment as well for some of the more advanced features, but definitely look into that. If your kids, or especially if you have multiple kids, it's difficult to pick up a phone and just go through it and guarantee that you've seen everything. I'm intimately familiar with phones, and even I have a hard time just quote-unquote hand searching a phone and saying, yeah, I've seen everything I need to see. So use these apps. They can monitor text messages, web activity, social media activity, the whole 9 yards. But kind of touch on James's point, talk to your kids and teach them about internet safety. Encourage your kids to avoid talking to strangers online. That's one of my big rules with my kids. Don't talk to anybody that you don't actually know in person. Never share any personal details, which same thing goes for adults. We talked about that. And always ask for an adult before clicking on links or downloading files. That way that gives us that double layer of protection just to review that stuff, because you never know what they may be downloading. And cyberbullying's a big thing now too with kids. I mean, it was one thing when we were in school, if somebody was going to bully you, is going to be face to face, because we didn't have cell phones. Now it's so easy to sit behind a keyboard and spout off and say things that shouldn't be said. Yeah. And say things that shouldn't be said, and that can really do some real damage. We've all seen the news stories about it. So really talk to your kids about the dangers of that, and that's also part of the DARE program that James used to teach. Cyberbullying's a big part of that nowadays too. So social media safety, limit access to age-appropriate platforms. There are certain ages where certain platforms are appropriate and where they're not. Snapchat, I think, has a 13 or 14-year-old age limit. So if your kids are younger than that, they're not even supposed to be on there. That's per the rules and regulations that Snapchat has set forth. And that's just good for parents to know, because we know, and I mean, my kid's smart, he's going to figure out, I could just put a different age in there, and now I'm 22, So those are things to kind of look at those rules. As a parent, look at those rules and regulations, be familiar with them before you let your kids download these programs. And you can put safeguards like that on things like iPhone and Android to where if they want to download an application, my son's phone is connected to mine. If he wants to download an application, he has to put in a password. Well, I'm the only one that knows the password, so it just gives us an opportunity for, if he wants to download something, he comes and he talks to me about it, and we have a discussion about the app, what it is, what it does, and things like that before we move forward with him obtaining it. Yeah. And those privacy settings that we talked about before for adults to use on their social media account, teach your kids about those privacy settings too, and teach them what is okay to share and who it's okay to share it with. And then, kind of like you talked about, set clear rules on social media use. If you're going to be using this social media or this phone, then I have to put in a password anytime you want to download an app or whatever that may be. But just set clear rules so your kids know what they can and can't do online. There's some issues with games as well. There's certain games, Roblox is one that's commonly mentioned. My kids play Roblox, so I'm not going to say Roblox is evil by any means, but there are certain predators that get on these games, these various games. So Fortnite's another one, and specifically target kids. So make sure that they're not, teaming up with anybody or getting in a group with people that they shouldn't be.
Are there games out there that you can actually send files back and forth to each other? I mean,
so typically the grooming starts in these games, the chatting. Oh, I see. And what we've seen, especially a lot lately, is they will start grooming these kids to post videos and pictures online of of themselves.
Right. Or they move to text. Hey, you know, it'd be easier if I could just text you, you know, hey, I'd loved playing, you know, this video game with you. Can I get your phone number? I can text you the next time I'm on and we can play again. That'd be easier for us to find each other. Then they start speaking through their cell phone and things like that. And then you're on something that's easily accessible to send photos, videos, things like that.
Yeah.
Like we're in the holidays, does things ramp up during the holidays for
scams mainly?
Yeah, scams do during the holidays. The child predation is all day, every day, you know, unfortunately, and it's scary to think about. And I know when people think about what we do, a lot of times it has the child pornography connotation to it, but there's been several different studies, and between 70 and 80% of online child predators have actually physically abused a child in person. So that's one of the big things for us when we're getting these guys. It's not just guys that are looking at pictures or looking at videos. It's so much more than that. So that's part of the satisfaction that we get out of doing this job. But that's why it's so important to be cautious online, to teach your kids how to be safe online. And there are various resources that can help do that. NetSmarts.org, ConnectSafely.org. They both have videos and online training courses for kids that you can sit down with your kids and watch the videos. And they're age-appropriate videos. So if you're sitting down with a 5, 6, 7, 8-year-old, they're going to have videos that are appropriate for that age. They're even animated. So I strongly encourage parents to check that out. That's netsmarts.org and connectsafely.org. So,
all right, guys. Well, let's talk about the sheriff's department just a little bit.
Sure.
The sheriff, when he's in here, always says it's a great place to work, and they're always looking for people, both certified deputies and things like that, but also office staff and things like that.
Absolutely.
So you guys have been with the department for a while. And I guess I know you've served in different capacities.
Different roles, yes.
Have you as well?
Yeah, I've been on road patrol supervisor. I was in our commercial motor vehicle enforcement unit. I was in the detective bureau, and now I'm in the cyber crimes unit. So I've kind of moved around a little bit.
And then I saw on Facebook the other day where some guys were recognized for being with the department for 5, 10, 15 years, something like that. So
yeah, they like to do that. It's nice.
Yeah. So all right, guys. Well, anything else?
I don't think so.
No, I mean, just be safe, be smart, and by all means, if you guys ever have any questions about internet safety or your child's online safety, feel free to contact the sheriff's office.
Absolutely.
All right. So that is Detective Sergeant Brett Hill and Detective James O'Fallon with us from the Franklin County Sheriff's Office. And thank you guys for coming in this morning and talking. It was
Thanks
very
for having
interesting.
Yeah, absolutely. Thanks for having us.
All right, we're a couple minutes away from the top of the hour, and I wanted to tell you that coming up at 9:10 this morning, I'll be talking with some folks from the Scenic Regional Library. And then at 10:05 this morning, we've got the live from the White Mule Winery show with Charlie Schlottick and his daughter Grace Jett, and whoever their guest is today. Got some birthdays today: Andrea Cottrell, Courtney Richardson, Boyd Thurman, Jim Bartle's daughter Emily Carthy is 30 today, and Angie Holmick also has a birthday. And then I see that Brad and Brianna Perry celebrating their 15th wedding anniversary here today. All right, folks. Looks like my granddaughter made it in here today. Anyway, so let's see, what else have I got here? You guys are free to go. Thank you. All right, it's a minute and a half away from 9 o'clock. You know what? If you played the Powerball last night, the numbers were 6, 15, 18, 33, 49. The Powerball was 7, and Power Play was 2 times. No grand prize winner. Next Powerball drawing is going to be Saturday with an estimated jackpot of $88 million. And the next estimated Mega Million jackpot is $825 million. And that drawing is going to be tomorrow night at 10 p.m. All right, let's see. What else do I have here for you today? Did I have any commercials I needed to get in? Nope, looks like I cleared all of that out of the way. And Let's see. Had this story. Instagram been a key pillar of Meta's portfolio ever since the company acquired it in 2012, but next year it could take on an even greater symbolic and economic importance, according to eMarketer estimates reported by Bloomberg. The social networking site expected to generate more than half of Meta's U.S. and ad revenue in 2025, with more than $32 billion in stateside and sales anticipated. That'd be about 24% increase from 2024. Instagram's TikTok competitor Reels and ex-Twitter alternative Threads expected to be key drivers of the growth. We are AM 1560 KTUI Sullivan 94.1 FM. It's 9 o'clock.
Breaking news this hour from townhall.com. I'm Jeremy House. Recent events in the Middle East may finally lead to the release of Israeli hostages kidnapped more than a year ago in the infamous October 7th Hamas attacks. On the Salem Media Group news program This Week on the Hill with Tony Perkins, originating from Jerusalem this week, there was optimism from Caroline Glick, an advisor to Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu.
They've been there for 15 months and under dire circumstances that are unimaginable. Right. And we have the latitude right now, because of all of our successes on the battlefield in Gaza, to take a step back and have a temporary ceasefire in order to secure as many of our people as possible.
Are we close to a deal?
From the looks of it, it's possible, but we're dealing with Hamas, and they are Nazis. They lie.
Caroline Glick's full interview can be heard on This Week on the Hill. The broadcast will air on radio stations nationwide this weekend, as well as at 10 a.m. Eastern Time Saturday on the Salem News Channel. A multi-billion-dollar spending bill opposed by President-elect Donald Trump leaves a government shutdown deadline looming.
House and Senate leaders struck a deal that would have kept the government funded into March and avoided a shutdown set to begin Friday. Trump rejected the measure as full of giveaways to Democrats, and Elon Musk had whipped up outrage on social media, writing "Kill the bill" on X and threatening primary challenges against anyone who voted for it.
That's correspondent Ben Thomas reporting. The suspect charged with shooting to death a health insurance company chief executive on a Manhattan street, Luigi Mangione, is being taken this morning to hearings on related Pennsylvania criminal charges and efforts to extradite him to New York. On Wall Street, the Dow is ahead almost 280 points. The Nasdaq is up 141. More on these stories at townhall.com.
Our nation's problems have been building for the past 50 years, and they're not going away overnight, which is why we must prepare now for a financial collapse that will affect the entire economy. The good news is there's an easy way to do that. Hi, I'm Dr. Ron Paul, and I believe everyone should consider a gold IRA from Birch Gold Group to diversify their IRA or 401k. Gold is a proven bedrock in almost every kind of economy. To learn more, get a free info kit from my trusted friends at Birch Gold by texting the word PREPARE to 989898. Don't wait until decades of government irresponsibility comes crashing down on your retirement. Get your free info kit on gold IRAs from the Birch Gold Group now. Text PREPARE to the number 989898. That's PREPARE to 989898.
The world's largest hornet has been declared eradicated in the U.S.
The invasive northern giant hornet is also known as the murder hornet for its dangerous sting and its ability to slaughter a honeybee hive in a matter of hours. The Washington State and U.S. Departments of Agriculture announced its eradication Wednesday from U.S. soil. That comes 5 years after the hornet was first spotted near the Canadian border in that northwest state. Officials said there's been no new detections of the hornet in Washington since 2021 and called that a major success. Experts have said the hornet is also considered eradicated in Canada. Keith Peters reporting.
German lawmakers have approved legislation designed to protect the country's highest court against possible future manipulation or obstruction by authoritarian or extremist politicians. Officials have cited experiences in Poland, Hungary, and elsewhere as illustrating the need to bolster the federal constitutional court. News and analysis at townhall.com. The United Nations General Assembly demands a ceasefire in Gaza and backs the UN agency helping Palestinian refugees.
Israel and the U.S. were in a tiny minority voting against the resolutions. Meanwhile, Israel's UN ambassador, Danny Danon, says peace talks and hostage negotiations continue.
We made it very clear there will be a linkage between a ceasefire and the release of hostages. And that's what we are talking about now. I'm not sure it will be in one stage.
Danon says they hope it will be in one stage, but could be similar to past deals. Either way,
We hope we're going to have some news before the holiday of Hanukkah and Christmas.
I'm Julie Walker.
Russian President Vladimir Putin has boasted that his military operation in Ukraine has strengthened his country. He's denied that the downfall of a key ally in Syria had dented Moscow's prestige. More on these stories at townhall.com.
All right, it is 5 minutes past the hour of 9 o'clock here at the studios of KTUI. It is time for the For Sale Show. If you've got something to buy, sell, or trade, you can give me a call right now, 468-5101, 468-5101, or you can send me a text message, and that's 573-677-1001, 573-677-1001. You can send me an email anytime, and that's forsale@ktui.com. For sale, and you can use the number 4, or you can spell it out, F-O-R, sale. And let's see, I guess it would help if I got my folder out that actually had my stuff in it. I don't have a whole lot of stuff for you. There's a lady that's got some chickens, and she also had, she was looking for blankets that she wanted to give away to homeless people. Her number is 573-617-8662. 573-617-8662. Got a guy that's got a 7-foot Christmas tree. He just wanted to give it away. He also has a TV. I think it's a 27-inch flat screen. He was wanting to give it away. He's got some taillights for a 66 Ford Galaxy. He'd take $50 for him. He's got a home gym. And his number is 468-4068, 468-4068, or you can call him on his cell phone, 636-210-0074, 636-210-0074. Woman has some books on how to play the mandolin, and she also had some cake pans, I think Temptations. She also has an acoustic Martin guitar. It's a 2014 model. She wants $2,700 for it. There's a woman that's got some, did I tell you her number? It's 573-764-4435. 573-764-4435. And then there's Louis L'Amour books, over 60 of them. She said call and make her an offer. 314-301-4253. 314-308-4253. I like Louis L'Amour, but I think I've read them all. 8 ranks of white oak logs. Call 573-205-9241, 573-205-9241. And then the Nigerian dwarf goats, 314-605-8637, 314-605-8637. All right, we're coming up on 8 minutes past the hour of 9 o'clock here on a Thursday morning. Going to be talking to some folks from the library. Stay tuned here to KTUI. I'll be back right after you hear this.
Get a washer that helps you handle your laundry all in one place. Pre-wash items right inside the washer using the built-in water faucet to help remove loose soils. Save a step by soaking and washing in one cycle. When the 30-minute pre-soak option is finished, the wash cycle starts automatically.
For mattresses, furniture, flooring, and appliances, see the folks at Jerry's TV and Home Furnishings at 375 West Springfield in Sullivan, or call 468-4300.
All right, coming up on 9 minutes past the hour of 9 o'clock here on this Thursday morning, and we were at 32 degrees. We're now at 33 degrees and 31 out at Sullivan Regional Airport. It's just warming right up. And from the Scenic Regional Library, from the Sullivan branch, I have the manager, Sydney Lewis, with me here this morning. Good morning. And then the director,
The guy from Union,
the director of Scenic Regional Library, all of the branches.
That's true. That's true.
Steve Campbell.
That's the rumor.
Yeah. So, how are you guys
Good
doing
morning.
today?
We're doing. I'm doing great.
Yeah,
Can't
I'm
speak
doing
for
really
Sydney.
good. I'm doing really good.
Don't have any Christmas. I have half my Christmas shopping done.
I'm done
Half?
completely. I just have to wrap.
We're going to go on a shopping spree this weekend after the Chiefs game, or maybe on Sunday. The Chiefs play Saturday, so.
Right.
Well, I'm hoping that my wife has more than half of ours done. So.
Yeah, I'm completely done.
Yeah,
so
I may have to
I
check
do it
with
real
her.
early.
We've ordered some stuff online. We've gotten some things, but we're kind of behind. My wife's birthday was yesterday too, so I had to get a gift for that too.
Yes.
So that put me, that stresses you out when you have to get another gift right around the holidays.
Yeah,
Unrelated.
my husband's 2 days after Christmas.
Oh, really?
So
See, I only have to buy one Christmas gift, but
that's good.
That must be nice.
for my wife, and then I,
she does all the rest.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I tell her to do all the rest.
Tell her.
Yeah.
She doesn't usually listen to what I tell her, but anyway. So, all right.
It's hard to get gifts. It's hard.
So, are festive things happening at the library?
We've had most of our festive things
festive
happen.
things already.
Okay.
So
So it's unfestive now.
it's it still looks very festive.
Oh,
We've still
okay.
got the trees up and decorations, but since it's so close to Christmas, we don't have any more events until January now. Just because it's hard to get. The closer you get to Christmas, it's hard to get people to come to things.
Yeah, they're busy shopping.
Everyone's busy shopping.
Except me.
For you.
Except for me.
Your wife's busy shopping, probably.
Exactly.
And I don't want to upset you guys, but some of the Amazon fulfillment centers, I guess, have gone on strike.
I just heard that. Yeah.
So,
Yeah. It's good I started early.
Yeah,
then.
it is.
My mailman hates me, though, because I ordered almost everything online.
I think somebody on the other side of this building, it's like the Amazon truck pulls up and just unloads the whole truck every day.
It's a good timing for them to go on strike. That's good strategy.
Good strategy.
Well, so we have for our children's events that are coming up, not till January, but we still have every preschool story time on Tuesdays at 10 a.m., but we won't for the next 2 weeks because it's Christmas Eve and New Year's Eve, and we will be closed on those days, as well as Christmas Day and New Year's Day. Then we also have our next kids club. They're going to build a birdhouse. That is Monday, January 13th at 4 o'clock.
Good to have that ready for spring.
I know. And then the homeschool event is Crazy for Coding, and that's Thursday, January 16th at 10 a.m. and 11 a.m. So they can choose which one to go to. Just because we have so many coming, we have to offer it in 2 time slots.
Really?
Wow.
Yes.
So what age group is it?
It's generally all ages, because a lot of our homeschool families, they have kids anywhere from 5 or 6 up to mid-teens. So we have them all ages. They could be 14, 15, they could be 11, they could be 6.
When do they start coding?
When do they start? Probably
I have a grandson
6 o'clock.
that's 7, and
it won't be super in depth. It's not going to be that type of coding, but it'll be games that are centered around
Yeah,
how
they
to
can
start
start
coding.
at 6, 7 years old sometimes.
Yeah.
They do basic coding.
That's what I was
Yes.
wondering, because
Yeah, they can start pretty young.
My son said something about teaching my grandson to code, and I was like, "Wow, he's 7."
There's a lot of good books that are geared towards that age,
Really?
7, 8, and they make it a game to teach them how to code and code Python and different
What
stuff
about
like
old
that.
people like me?
They still have some cool illustrated ones for the older people.
old
as well.
people.
And then those are all our children's events. And then for our adult events, we have on Tuesday, January 7th is New Year, New You, which is basically a lecture about health and wellness, and that's at 6 o'clock. We also have basic internet skills that will be Thursday, January 16th at 6 o'clock. So after that Crazy for Coding homeschool in the morning, if you need some basic internet skills, come on down. And then we have our As the Page Turns book club Tuesday, January 22nd or 21st at 6 p.m. And they're reading The Guest by B.A. Paris, which is a mystery suspenseful thriller.
How many people do you have in that book club?
That one, I think it's anywhere from 10 to 12.
Oh.
And then
It's a big group.
The Sweet and Spicy book club right now, we're ranging about 7 to 9.
Less.
And that one's new.
There's less sweet and spicy people.
There's less sweet and spicy people, but that's just because it's only been going for about 4 months.
So let's sell this. You're looking for members for that.
Yes,
right?
I am looking for members.
Who leads that? You
I
do?
lead the Sweet and Spicy book club, and in January we're reading A Court of Thorn and Roses by Sarah J. Maas, which is hugely widely spread popular book.
What's that about?
So,
What's that like?
Fantasy romance.
Fantasy
They're
romance.
fae.
Oh, okay.
There are fae in the world, and
That's like spirits and things, right? For those people who
it's
don't
like
read
fae is
fantasy books.
fairies.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah, fae
okay.
is the more traditional word of fairies, and it's like Celtic folklore in there. It's actually a very loose retelling of Beauty and the Beast.
Okay.
And so that's how it
So
kind
if
of
someone's
starts.
listening right now and they want to join, what do they do?
And they want to join, all they need to do, if you've already read the book, you don't have to check it out again, but you can check it out at our branch. Also, you can RSVP online through scenicregional.org. If you go to our library calendar, you
can call the library probably
You
too,
can also
right?
call the library if you don't want to get online. You want to do it super quick.
You say,
and
I
easy.
want to join this
Yeah.
sweet and spicy
Just
book
call
club.
our library 573-342-6505
Okay, and ask for you.
and ask for Sydney. Yes. And we're not meeting in December because it would be New Year's Eve.
And when does it meet exactly?
We
again?
meet on Tuesday, January 28th is the next one.
So
6
it's once a month, 6
yeah, it's
p.m.
once a month. It's the last Tuesday of every month at 6 o'clock.
And how do you guys choose the books? I'm curious. Every book club's different.
Usually we.
I'm interviewing Sydney now. Sorry.
That's okay.
I was
just taking.
I was thinking about going and getting
Sorry.
coffee. Or
That's
I'll
okay.
stop now. Sorry, Sam.
The
Sorry,
first
Sam.
4
Actually, I don't
months
care.
of books that we selected, my library, my adult programmer Genevieve selected the first 4.
Oh, Genevieve, yes.
And
yes.
then for after that, about 2 months ago, I gave them some options of like 6 or 7 different books.
Okay.
And explained, like I gave them the spice ratings
Oh.
and a little bit of information on them, and they got to pick which ones they wanted to do. So the next
You've empowered the
5
group.
Yes, so the next 5 are ones they've all selected that they want to read.
See what a
up through
democratic
June.
book group we got here. We get to decide
See,
on
I
their
try
own.
to do
vote.
that. I give them ones that are definitely, we have plenty of copies in the system. They're popular enough. We can get plenty of copies and questions easily. And
This is an opportunity for someone to join a book club once a month after they get off of work. They can come to the book
exactly,
club.
just come to the book club. You get to meet new people, and it's widespread ages. There's people from like 21. There's people in their 60s or 70s.
Wow.
So
That's uncommon, actually.
yeah,
Usually
it's not just everyone's the same age. So we love to have different age ranges in there.
That sounds exciting.
Yeah.
Is it all? What's your
It is
gender
generally
breakdown?
women for the romance, but if you're a man or non-binary, we would not say no. Like, I'm not going to kick you out. I'd be like, you are welcome to join.
Looking for men. The women who belong to the group are looking for male members.
I see. Okay.
That's interesting. Well, that's exciting. New book club.
Yeah, new book club.
Who leads the other one at the branch?
The other one, we have Genevieve, our adult
Okay.
programmer, and she leads the As the Page Turns book club. And that one does kind of all genres, but they stick more to like mysteries, historical fiction. Mainly those two, and some literary.
Ever belonged to a book club before?
Yeah.
When I was a director at North Kansas City before I came here, so we're talking more than 12 years ago, I led one at a like kind of a retirement community, I guess. It was all fiction. They picked the books. I don't read fiction normally, but I did it for probably about 2 years. It was actually a lot of the books were actually pretty entertaining.
Yeah.
It was okay. It was fun to read the book. Normally, if at home if I'm reading a book, I read a book and then that's it.
Yeah.
But getting to actually discuss with people afterwards it was kind of fun. Everyone had read the same book I had read. It was
It's fun
kind
to
of a
get
different
different
experience. It is, yeah.
perspectives.
Get to
Yeah.
see opinions on the characters and plot twists and things.
And then if some of you really hate the book, we like to hear that too. I want to hear why you hate it.
those were always the best conversations.
They are.
When everyone hated the book, we talked a lot more than when everybody liked the
Absolutely.
book. It was a lot
Yes.
more to say.
It was fun.
They wanted to bash the book then. If everybody liked it, they were like, it was great.
It was great, yeah.
And that was like the end of the conversation.
Yep.
But whenever it was bad, then that's when things got exciting.
Mm-hmm.
I can't read a book, like I can't read a chapter and then talk about it.
No, you have to read the whole thing.
Yeah, we read the whole book, and then we come and we discuss the book there.
And then you read another book the next.
Yeah, then we read another book in preparation for the next month's meeting.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's not like we meet every week and we go through chapters 1 through 9 and then because that would be too much, I feel like. That's a lot of commitment to ask of people that don't work at a library.
Okay, so it's my turn again. This is like the Sydney show. You want? How about before we might run out of time? So how about you talk about winter bingo? Because it's really important before we get on to anything else. This could be the entire interview be with Sydney. That's great. Less of me, more of her.
Well, starting January 1st, we have our winter reading bingo, and the challenge is called Be a Reading Machine. Has some really cool graphics. You can either pick up your bingo card at the local branch, or you can register online through Beanstack, which you can get to from scenicregional.org.
Bingo with pictures? Is that what-
It does have pictures.
She has
Yeah.
to explain how it works. You have to
Okay.
explain how this works.
Okay.
It has bingo, but it won't say bingo. It will say read, READ.
Okay.
And so it will be, there's ability to get 2 bingos. One is the traditional bingo where like all 4 in an area. And then the other is a full card bingo. So you get a book for getting your traditional bingo, 1 book, and then you get another book if you finish for the full card bingo.
But how do they get the bingo? How do they fill in the bingo squares?
How do they
Explain
fill in the
that.
bingo? Okay, so they're encouraged to log at least 5 hours during the challenge, but you also
Read 5 hours. You mean,
yeah,
right?
sorry,
okay,
read 5 hours. So each hour is like a bingo square, and there's also activities such as attending a library program. If you check out something that isn't a book, like a cake pan or a Tony box, Steam kit. There's so many options.
Like using self-check, one of those.
Yeah, and then using a self-check is another one. Reading aloud to someone. Or
all
having someone read to
library-related
you.
stuff. You know.
Yeah, all library bookish themed.
You could attend the book club and
And
discuss
yes,
the
you could attend the book
that
club,
would
and
count
that
as
will count.
that was count as as bingo squares. Yeah.
Yes, and
this goes. This is for
through-
all ages, right?
Yes, it's for all ages. It goes through February 28th. So all ages, they could be 2 years old, and then you could be 99.
So to
There's still
complete the bingo card, you have to read 5 hours. You get five. You get 5 bingo spots on the card for reading 5
Yes.
hours. Then you can get extra spots on the bingo card by going to a program, using self-check, and a bunch of other things that are listed.
Yeah.
That's exciting.
And so we will
they
have
get prizes.
these-
You get books.
And you get prizes. You get books, and that's a good selection of books.
And what else? It's winter time. You're not going out doing anything fun outside. So
Yeah.
this is great reading time right now.
It is. It's prime.
Once
peak
the
reading
holidays
time.
end, especially, you got January and February, just the worst months for being outside and trying to do stuff.
But the best months for reading.
Best months for
really
reading
is.
and completing
And completing reading challenges.
winter bingo so that you can get free books.
Yeah, because who doesn't like free books?
Yeah.
So is there a free space? That's
There isn't this time because it's only read. It's READ
I
instead
see.
of doing like the 5.
Oh.
Because if it was 5
Sam
across,
feels
then there would
scammed
be the
now.
free
He
space.
feels like
I
he's
know.
Because a lot of times,
But there's less squares to have to fill because there's only 4 columns.
well, a lot of times in traditional bingo, they can call 15 numbers before I ever get one. So
I know.
I never have won at a real bingo plate. Like a
I've
real
never
bingo
won
one.
bingo
no.
either.
Let's see. We some other. I wanted to mention also. We talked about shopping and holidays before. If anyone's looking for a last-minute Christmas gift, and you have someone in your family who loves the library and loves going to the library, you can buy them a Friends membership for Christmas.
there you
That's an
go.
exciting gift. We have 4 levels of memberships now: $25 membership, a $50 membership, a $100 membership, and of course a $500 lifetime membership. But if you buy a $50 membership, you get if you bought a membership for the person, they would get a nice Scenic Regional Library Friends of the Library water bottle.
Stainless steel.
Stainless steel with a wood top. It's
Got our
very
cute
nice.
logo.
And if you get the $100 membership, which I got because I wanted this
This is
gift,
his favorite one.
you get it's a cooler bag it doubles as a backpack, so you can fill it with cans of soda or some other canned beverage if you'd like, and you can carry it on your back or you can just carry it as a regular cooler bag, and you get that for free. And it also says Scenic Regional Library Friends of the Library on it as well. It's very cool. I have one. So if you have, like I said, if you want to get a gift for someone who, your spouse or a friend or a relative who really loves the library and they're not a member of the library, you can join for them and then give them that membership and their gift. Or I guess you could, in theory, keep the gift and give them the membership. That would be a little bit of a scam
Right.
to me. But you give them the gift, give them the membership, and then they're a member then for the rest of the year till next October 1st, and they get discounts at our book sales, and they've supported the library. That money goes to the local branch that they go to. So the Sullivan branch, say for example. So. It's a good gift idea.
Yeah, it is.
You're a friend. You're an on and off Friends member. You're probably a member right now.
I have
aren't you?
been for several years, but I think I think Keisha used to just stand here.
I know. And make you do it. I've given you the membership
She
form,
gave
but
me
I
the
didn't
membership
make
form.
you fill it out in front of me.
Well, no, Keisha made me give her money.
To make him do it.
Yeah, Keisha
Yeah.
made me give her money.
Yeah.
She'd just stand there until I.
So I might have to do that
This
soon.
is your strategy right
It
here.
is,
You've learned.
yeah.
So tell us, you want more stuff? We have more time.
Sure. Yeah.
You
go
sure?
ahead. Yeah.
We've talked about this before, but we have books by mail programs. So if you know someone, or if you are listening and you are homebound, you can't leave the house, whether it's just temporary or permanent. You just can't drive or leave the house, but you love to use the library. You used to use the library when you were more mobile or the person was more mobile. You can sign up for the Books by Mail program. It's totally free, and all you'd have to have is it signed off by a healthcare worker. So this could be your doctor, a nurse, a home health worker that comes to your house to help you. All they have to do is sign saying you're homebound, and that allows us to not pay postage for sending you things. And what we'll do is you fill out a form and say, like, I like romance books, or I like books on World War II, or Westerns, or I like mysteries, or I like blues music or whatever, and then we'll pull those items, CDs, DVDs, movies, books, audiobooks on CD, or you can even give us specific titles too, like I want this particular book, and we'll pull up to 5 at a time, mail them to you in a bag, and then when you're done with them, you just put them back in the bag, and they go put them in your mailbox. They'll come back to us for free, and we'll fill it up again. And so you can get books sent to your home via the mail for as long as you need to. So all you have to do is call your local branch and ask for information on Books by Mail, and they can show you where the form is, and we can get you signed up real quick, and then you can get books, movies, CDs, books on CD, or books sent to you. We have large print books too. We have, like Sydney mentioned, audio books. If you can't see for some reason, like your vision is not as good as it used to be, we have the large print books or the books on CD, so you can listen to those as well. So it's a great service. We probably have anywhere between 40 and 60 people sign up for that at a time, and we send them books and movies and things constantly through that service. So please call your local branch or let someone know about it if you know a person who is homebound. Let them know about it so they can take advantage of that too. So, want more? Want more? I can always go on, Sam. You have to cut me off eventually.
Do you still have? Are you still selling computers?
I think we're out now.
They're out
yeah,
now?
we're out now. Yeah, we periodically get more every year.
I tried to help. I bought 4 of them.
Oh my gosh, really?
Yeah.
Great.
How were they?
Well, I don't know. We've only fired one of them up. It's sitting out there because I think my grandson's getting it for Christmas so he can learn to start coding.
Okay. Yes. Oh, great. That's awesome. I do know one person who bought one, a former employee of ours, and said it was working great for her. So
the one that we're on YouTube and Facebook right now, that
is also a former.
From like 2 years ago.
Yeah, for those people who don't know, so every year we remove computers that are 5 years old because we want to replace them, and so then we sell them to the public, and they're cheap, $50, and we replace them with nice new speedier computers. So let's see what else we got.
We have last month's most popular titles that were checked out.
Oh, what is the most? Let Sam guess. What's the number one most popular title last month? What do you think? I don't even know what it was.
I don't know. Is it something from?
Never would have guessed that one.
So, it's probably not James Grisham.
It's not Colleen Hoover for one. We're surprised because she's been like up there for months
for
now.
a long time. Yes.
I don't even know who that is.
But she's one of those romance, but not quite romance, like domestic thrillers.
I read somewhere once that half of all fiction books published, are romance.
They are.
That's
and
a lot of romance.
And they are the highest selling genre. Like that makes the most money.
So my wife used to read those, and probably still does. I don't know. I don't really.
Did she read the Harlequin ones?
No, I don't know. There's an author that's real popular, but now they're kind of mix between fantasy and
romance.
Yep. But
but it's called romantasy now. They have a new term.
Middle Ages or
medieval time.
Yeah. Dragons and demons.
I'll get them.
They have a little magnet, so they change. But the top part fell off.
That's cool. Did you flip it? The other side's white.
Is it?
Yeah.
No.
Oh, it's not? I thought it looked white on the floor.
Yeah, it's ornaments on there. Little retro ornaments.
That's cool.
Well, that's pretty cool.
Do you wear glasses?
I wear reading glasses.
You could get cool magnet clip
up. Pair eyewear.
Okay.
You just put their magnet piece. I've seen people with those before. Those are cool.
Yeah, I saw Christy.
How many different ones do you have? That's right. That's who I know who has it.
I have 7.
7 different. So you look at different frames every time you wear them.
Because these are the same. Like you don't have to buy a new frame. They have different styles. Like it's called the Larkin This one is, so you don't have to get this style. It can look a little different.
Okay.
But you get the matching one.
But it looks
with
like you're wearing different glasses
Yeah,
every
it looks
time.
like you're wearing different glasses every time, so it's nice.
This might be a tangent. Yeah.
Yeah.
Where were we?
Oh, last month's most popular titles. So in first place, we actually have A Christmas Memory by Richard Paul Evans. So everyone getting ready for Christmas, which is more historical fiction. Then we have in second place is The House of Eve by Siddeka Johnson. I hadn't heard of that one before. It's a historical fiction romance, but it was a Reese's book club pick.
So if someone's looking for really popular books right now,
Yeah.
those are the two most popular.
And then third is Skipping Christmas by John Grisham, which is, of course,
yeah.
what Christmas with the Cranks was based off of.
Oh, I see.
Oh,
And then-
I was going
right?
I was going to say a John Grisham book for
Yeah, 'cause-
the most popular, but
And then we also have another John Grisham book,
yep,
The
yes.
Exchange After the Firm. So third place was tied with 2 John Grisham books.
John Grisham's a very popular guy.
He is.
So I'll also mention those. I think we talked about this last month. Probably was I here last month? I don't
No.
remember. I can't keep
No.
track of when I'm here.
Megan-
We have 3 different radio stations we pop around our area.
I think it was Megan and it was you,
Yeah,
wasn't
me
it?
Okay. So you guys probably talked about Aspen last
Yes,
month too a little
yes.
bit. Just a reminder to everyone, we have the new. If you go to our catalog, it's no longer the original Missouri Evergreen catalog you saw before. It's now called Aspen. And the main difference between Aspen and what we had before is that when you search for something, say you're searching for, I don't know.
A Court of Thorn and Roses.
Okay. Any given title.
Yeah, any
it'll not just show you what we have in our collection that's like a printed book, but it'll also show you if we have it in ebook. So, and where it's at, if it's on Libby or on Hoopla. So you can search, you're searching everything together. So that's really nice if you're on your phone especially, and you search
then you can
and it's
check
an
it out
ebook.
directly
You
from
can
there.
click on it and check the ebook out directly too. Before it was just the physical items we had in our collection. So that's the that's the primary thing. But Aspen also has a new app. So if you are using the old Missouri Evergreen app, that's fine. It still works. But you can go to our website and download for free the Aspen app, and it does the same thing as the Aspen online catalog does, where you can search both.
And I think it's called Missouri Evergreen Discovery.
Yeah, it's called Missouri. It's kind of a little confusing.
Yeah, it is confusing.
It's the only app now on our website. We removed the old Missouri Evergreen download.
Gotcha.
So if they go there, they're going to see an app there, and it'll be it's Missouri Evergreen Discovery. We're actually getting ready to change that, so it actually says Aspen, I think.
Gotcha.
But they can download that, and then they can use it to get there. So if you are primarily using our ebooks and the audiobooks, the Aspen app is nice because you can search both Libby and Hoopla and whatever else we have at the same time.
And it just looks more aesthetically pleasing.
It is also it is much more attractive of a database. So anyway, that's a cool thing we have new. That's a big, and we're one of the 6 pilot libraries in Missouri. Not all the Missouri Evergreen libraries doing it. We agreed to be one of like the guinea pigs. So we've been kind of working out the bugs and things. So if you are using Aspen or using the app and there's something that is an issue with it that you don't that is causing you problems you don't like, or something you'd like to see better, contact your local branch and let them know, and they can pass it on to us. Because the great thing about Evergreen and Aspen and all these products is that they're open source. So we're not dealing with a vendor, like a company that just builds this for us and gives it to it, and that's the end of it. This is all open source stuff, so we belong to a consortium. So if we don't like something about Evergreen or about Aspen, we can contact the company that's like developing it for us, and then we can get it changed. So we're constantly improving. Every year there's major upgrades to Evergreen and the products like the apps that we use and things that improve them and add new features to them. So it's continuously evolving, so it's nice. So your feedback, people who use these products, feedback is important because we can use that information to actually improve these products.
All right.
I don't have anything else.
That it?
I can.
Oh,
always
I
go.
know you could go.
You should cut me off. Yeah.
Oh well.
I would like to wish you and everyone here at the station and everybody listening a Merry Christmas and Happy Holidays. I hope everybody has a safe and warm holiday season. And in January, we have lots of great programs and events to come to the library for. Hopefully, people will take advantage of those.
Yeah.
All right. Did Sydney tell you that she kicked me out of the bell choir last night?
Yeah.
No, she didn't say that. Why
I
would
kicked
you
him
do
out.
that?
Well, I didn't know. I came and there
Poor
were only 4
Sam.
spots, and they're like, "Do you want to do?" I'm like, "Okay," but I don't want to kick Sam out.
Yeah, but
you did.
I'm like second string bell choir.
Oh, that's terrible.
I know. So
he has a longer musical history than
I know,
you do.
and they're weird bells.
Just 'cause
like,
I'm
it's not
older.
Like the traditional like hand bells, like
Oh, I
the
see.
big bell. They're like these little long,
Yeah.
like
I see.
bell with a little bell. I don't know how to describe it. They're really weird. They're
Is the handle long or the whole bell's long?
the whole bell is
Yeah,
long.
it's a square tube
Yeah, it's
with
a
a
square
clapper
tube
on
with
it.
a little clapper.
And I guess they just cut them to whatever length they need for that tone. And,
My daughter is in percussion, 6th grade in
Mm.
band and union,
boy.
and she had her first Christmas concert this week,
Yes.
and she had her one little solo. She had says she's not very good, which I don't
What part
know.
was she playing in percussion? Was the timpani? It's a big drum.
The xylophone looking thing,
xylophone, yeah.
But she had like a bell, she had a ring. That was her solo.
Yes.
There's one point where everything kind of stopped, and she had to ring this
chimes
weird.
and
It wasn't even. It was a weird shaped thing, and
Right,
she
bell.
described what it was, and I still can't remember what it was, but it was some kind of bell.
Right.
And she did not like that because a lot of attention went to her, and she
Yeah.
had to make sure she didn't
She's
mess
like,
it
"Don't
up.
look at
But
me."
so she could maybe try out for your choir, your bell
Yes,
bell
she
choir.
could do
well,
bell
see,
choir.
when she was absent, they asked me, "Have you ever?"
Oh, you're the
played?
fill-in. You're
Yeah,
the
'cause
That's
I-
why.
I
That's
was
why I
sick
said I
last
was
week.
second
I
string.
didn't realize you were her stand-in. Though.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah, I got sick last week.
Well, they asked me, "Have you ever, played a percussion type instrument?" I said, "Well, when I was in high school, I played the canon at the end of the 1812 overture." So.
It was like I did xylophone and the marimba.
Yeah. So I did that in marching band. I was xylophone. Actually, in the Air Force, I was in the drum and bugle
You got to
corps.
do
I
drum
was.
corps?
I got
my son's been in band the last 3 years, all through middle school. He's in 8th grade right now, and he does not want to go and continue band in high school. He just want to do marching band.
Yeah.
And I'm very disappointed because I really wanted them to play.
We started
continue
marching
playing
in
instrument.
7th grade.
Oh wow!
Yeah.
Did you like marching band a lot?
Yeah, I was in it. Yeah. And then joined the drum and bugle corps. in
Did
the
you
Air
ever
Force.
get like all district, all state, all conference, any of those things?
I had all those patches
Really?
on my.
All state, you were?
Yeah.
And what instrument was it again?
Well, it depends. I was a clarinet.
Oh, okay.
And,
Wow.
Yeah, and then when I got to high school, they put me on contralto clarinet, which is like
Yeah, a lot larger.
5 feet tall.
Yeah.
And I was pretty decent at that, but they don't need those in marching band. So
Sure.
so since I played piano, they
Put your percussion
put
in
me
the
in
bit.
the melodic percussion. So you play xylophone and
Yeah.
marimbas and
What did you actually get all
glockenspiels.
state for, though?
Oh,
Was there a certain instrument? I thought.
Singing.
That's
Oh,
what it was. I
really?
was
Is that
all
what it
state for
was?
choir.
Choir, really?
Yeah.
Well, that's very impressive, both of you, because like
But I was
all
I
state's
was
a
in
big deal.
Yeah.
I was in all district. Well, see, the thing is when you play the contralto clarinet and you go to competition to try to get into all district and all conference and all that stuff.
Yeah.
Well, the contralto, there's probably only 3 or 4 other people in the in the district that,
really?
that play that.
Yeah, but all state, there's a lot of people in that.
Yeah.
Especially
Yeah,
choir,
all
I
state's
bet.
harder to get into.
sure.
You must have had a golden voice. Must have been the Sinatra of Missouri.
I was. Yeah.
Sinatra of Missouri. Are you in the singing choir at your church too? You sing?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
You're not a backup for that.
Sydney
are
hasn't
you?
kicked me out of that yet.
I haven't kicked it. Well, I switched to soprano. I've been an alto all my life, but they're like, we need sopranos. So I can sing soprano.
This church must
So
have
I'm
the
like,
greatest choir ever with 2 all-state, former all-state
We
choirs.
also have,
we're a 3-row choir now.
Yeah, we're a
No, but you had how
Isn't
many
one of
choir?
our members a
Hold on, how many
retired choir
church?
teacher?
How many church choirs would you
Isn't
say?
Michelle a retired choir teacher?
She is.
Yeah. So
She
we
probably
have
was all-state too.
Yeah.
How many church choirs can boast 2 or 3 all-state choir people
I
in
don't
them?
know.
That's probably unusual. I'm guessing.
Beats me.
Must be the
Beats
best
me too.
choir on earth.
It's pretty good.
You should.
I think we do good.
I think we do well.
You guys should get booked for events.
Yeah.
Go out and sing.
Well, next year I'm planning to get us the tree lighting for
See,
Amber.
she's already
I
booking you
am
for
already-
events.
I don't know.
That's
Because we didn't have
serious.
enough time this year.
That's what I need. Is more stuff to do.
It's gonna be a lucrative industry, though. You're getting
Yeah.
paid. You're getting paid to do these gigs.
All right.
Okay.
Okay. Well,
Merry Christmas,
So
Sam.
Steve
Thanks so
Campbell from Scenic Regional Library and Sydney Lewis she's the manager of the branch here. So, all right. Thanks, guys. All right. It is about 21 minutes in front of 10 o'clock here at the studios of KTUI. We had gotten up to 33. Now it's 35 degrees here at the studios. Don't forget, coming up in a little bit, we've got live from the White Mule Winery. And it looks like 34 degrees out at the Sullivan Regional Airport. All right, that's it for me. As always, I would ask that you would please say a prayer for the leadership of our country, the men and women who protect this great nation of ours, all of our local healthcare workers and first responders. Be a blood donor. Go to redcrossblood.org or download the app to your phone and be an organ donor as well. All right, Mike Gallagher's up next. Stay tuned.
Supported opportunities for more barriers, more border agents, more technology, and ultimately doing that, giving us the time to be able to put in place a immigration system in this country that gives us a chance to attract the best and brightest and to keep those that create a national security challenge out of this country. I think that's one. Next, we've heard throughout the past year, throughout the past 4 years, the challenges around inflation, the challenges around the economy. I think if we look at President Trump's first term, one of the places we were most proud to be able to support him was in the Tax Cuts and Jobs Act. And obviously, as a component of the fiscal cliff, that's something that is set to expire next year. This law worked. It gave a boost to the American economy. And we saw throughout President Trump's time after the passage of this bill where American business really began to flourish. It's time to revisit that. It's time to be able to address that. And it's time to be able to put policies in place for the long term that give people an opportunity to show why America is the best place to be able to do business. I think when we talk about regulations, that's been go ahead, sorry.
I was going to ask you about regulations because that's one of the things that really gets me excited. With us today, Brent Gardner with Americans for Prosperity. I saw that's one of your key points. People just don't realize sometimes what an effect the government can have through these bureaucrats and their regulations.
Yeah, absolutely. Regulations are something that affect most Americans in ways that they don't even see. American small business and American large business alike are dramatically impacted by an ever-changing regulatory framework put forth by unelected bureaucrats. And ultimately, it adds a level of complexity and expense